Almost alive. And welcome everyone to the 73rd episode of Playtest This. Can you believe it? And welcome. We've got our special guest Gene Chipman and our special guest playtester Matthew Conley. Uh, Gene, tell the folks at home what you're doing here.
All right. I'm Gene Chipman. I am working on a game called Guilds of Kurnor. It is signed with a publisher, SBG Editions. Signed it about a year and a half ago. Working on it since. Roughly thinking about halfway done. I think most of the design's in good spot, but there's boatload more work to be done, tweaking things and getting UI correct and stuff like that. So,
Always.
and we were talking about Kickstartering this year, but I think realistically it'll be next year. So
cool, awesome. And you can go back and watch, what is it, number 51, episode 51, to see an earlier edition of this, and we'll see how it's changed. Matthew, tell the kids at home how they might have heard of you.
May have heard of me from License to Krill. In fact, I could just go grab it if you want. The
Yeah,
prototype
sure,
just arrived.
yeah,
show it off.
let's see it.
Show it off.
And lucky for you, I have pants on. Just kidding. Here we go. He just arrived from China. So let's see if we can get him in the frame.
There he is.
So that's the game case. You can see he's very fond of putting his mouth on things. Got the highest quality zipper that you can get, because the first one I saw the zipper, like, oh, come on, guys, try a little harder than that. So yeah,
is he dressed up fancy?
Yeah, he's in a tuxedo.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
So that's the game case. That has to be the most unique game case I've seen.
Yeah, and for shipping, I can not have to worry about dinged corners or boxes that are scratched. like I had a friend, he threw this against the wall, he threw it up in the air, he stomped on it, like nothing happened to it.
That's great.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. But it's more than just plushie. It's, of course, a game, standalone game in its own right, but the whale is a central component, so it's enhanced by playing it with the game case, that is. It's not just a tack on to the game. And it's meant to be family friendly with quick decisions, yet, putting Junior and Dad on a competitive level so that, they're able to come together and have some fun.
Nice.
Cool. And you said you're going to Kickstarter this?
In June, yeah. That's the plan.
Bam. Things are happening, people. Okay, Gene. Take us away. Give us the teach.
Yeah, you're just assuming everybody knows who you are, I guess.
Oh, I am bad at hosting things. My name is Evan Halbert. I have designed After the Empire, which you should go purchase 42. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. 42 copies is all you really need to play. And let's see, we have an expansion probably going to crowdfunding. Maybe at the end of this year, probably next year. And then a few more other games coming out in the near future. Another next couple of years, we'll have another couple of projects coming out. So keep your eyes peeled and your credit cards ready at your side. Get out your checkbook. Okay, cool, awesome. Gene, take us away. Give us the teach.
All right. So the game is Guilds of Kurnor. It is set in the world of Thargos, which is based on a fantasy role-playing game by the publisher. The publisher is SBG Editions. You may have heard of them, Evan.
I have heard of them. That's weird.
In this game, you lead a guild of thieves and assassins in the Imperial city of Kurnor, which is the center of the criminal underworld of Thargos. Thargos is split between two factions after a civil war, the Empire and the Darkun. Your goal is to extend your guild's power by playing off both factions. Your success is measured in victory points, and there is a track around the main board where we will measure victory points. I will go ahead and delete purple since we won't. Actually, I won't do that because I'll reload and I'll do this stuff. So your victory points are tracked around the top there. I'll tell a little bit later how you score victory points. You have a deck of guild cards. Here's an example right here. These are the leadership of your guild. You can purchase more guild cards from the market up here. There is a key for how the guild cards work and for icons here. You will also see on your little player mat guild tokens. Guild tokens are the rank and file of your guild. You can purchase, sorry, lost my spot. You'll be able to add guild tokens to the guild hall from your reserve. That's this little bag here, and you may lose them back into the reserve during the game. You will use your guild cards as agents to place tokens in the various cities. And there you can see there's 5 cities across the map here. In those cities, you will fight clashes and win rewards at each of the cities using your tokens. And those clashes, of course, will be against the other players. Your playmat also holds rackets. That's this little tile. And these give you extra resources and abilities that can be used each turn. Your guild deck's kept to the left of your playmat, and as you play cards, they'll go down in your play area. In the middle of the main board, there is an influence track that shows your guild's influence with the 2 factions, Empire on the right, and anytime you see that red banner or the red icons, that's Empire related. And then Darkun on the left, and anytime you see the purple banner, purple icons, that's Darkun related. These 2 decks of cards are faction power cards. This is the back of one, this is the front of one, and these are rewards you will win after a clash, and they will also affect scoring later in the game. There are also a deck of subterfuge cards. These are one-time cards that you play, you get them, hold them until you need them. They're hidden resources of your guild. And there is a deck for each faction. You don't always need to be up the influence track to use them, but you may find like if you draw from the Empire deck, being further up the track will make the card more useful. Those are the main components of the game. Any questions? I'll take that as a no. So the game is played in rounds, and each round has 4 phases. And over here on the right side is a little reference sheet showing the round order. The first phase is the planning phase. This is all done simultaneously by all the players. You get to collect some income. You'll reset your rackets. You'll draw cards, and you'll get ready to play. It should be pretty obvious once we start playing how that works. The main phase of the game is the second phase, the guild phase. Players will take 1 turn at a time, starting with whoever's the first player. That's the chess king there. And going clockwise. And there are multiple turns per player in this phase. During this phase, you may take a agent turn by playing a card from your hand down to your play area as an agent. You choose a city where you're sending that agent. Let's say I'm going to send that agent to Celestia over here on the left. And then I place tokens in that city based on the agent ranks of the card. The stuff on the left side of the card, you see on this one, you'll see a little purple arrow. Here's another example, one that's got 2 different ranks, got purple and green. Those are agent ranks. And you may, when you play a card, I'll use this one for my example. When you play a card, you may put 1 token for those number of skills in the corresponding spaces of the city. So if I played this agent to Celestia, I could put 1 token in the guile row, and further down you'll see 1 token in the connections row. Guile, weapons, and connections, and I'll explain what those do when we get to how the cities are resolved. So that's an agent turn. You're using only these agent ranks on the left side of the card. And this will go around. So green plays a card, then it comes to yellow, they play a card, goes back to orange, play a card, come back to green, green plays another agent. Now this could go to a different city, doesn't have to go to the same city. Maybe you want to send this one to Tyra. You put a token there in the guile row. And this continues And when it comes around on your turn and you decided you are done playing agents, putting tokens down, typically because you run out of tokens, but there may be other reasons, you will take the rest of your cards and put them down for a recruit turn. So you just flop them all down, and this is, you'll then use the abilities along the bottom to purchase more cards out of the market and to get other bonuses. So if you look at these cards, you'll see it one, the little blue diamond, that's one renown, one renown, and 2 renown. So that's a total of 4 renown, which I can use to buy a card. If you look at the cards on the market, you'll see in the top right, there's a cost for the cards. So I can buy any number of cards up to 4 with my 4 renown. In addition, I could instead increase my influence on one of the 2 influence tracks by spending renown. It gets progressively more expensive as you move up. It's cost 2 in this band, then 3, then 4. In addition, if you see the little, the little yellow blue symbol there, that means draw a subterfuge card. You see the little red trash symbol. Those are things I can activate in my recruit phase off of agent power. And agent power is pretty simple. I played 2 agents with a total of 3 skill sitting there. So I can activate up to 3 points worth of bonuses along the bottom. So I could activate this one for 2 or that one for 2, but I couldn't activate them both. So I'd take one bonus or the other. Knowing this, I might have played different. So I might have done this. I might have put this guy down, maybe send 1 weapons here, then done this as my flop. Now I have 4. I could activate them both, but I gave up one of my buy power to do that because I used it as an agent.
Can you say that last part again?
The first example I showed, I used all 3 of these for my recruit, so I had 4 buy power. In the second example, I would have used this guy as an agent, which gets me 4 agent skill. I can trigger both of those abilities, but I now only have 3 buy power.
Buy power is the blue.
No,
diamond.
yeah. Buy power is the blue, or renown. Sorry, I always mispronounce that word. It's only spent 2 places: spent to buy from the market, spent to increase your influence. So that's the recruit turn. Once you've taken your recruit turn, you only get 1 of those in this phase. It'll go around. If it comes back around to you again, because other players have not taken their recruit turns yet, it comes back around to you, you will just pass. But every time you pass, you also get a token out of your reserve into your guild hall. So flopping early, maybe because you're out of tokens, means that other players, they're putting agents down, taking more position in the cities, but at least you're getting some tokens for the next round.
Every time you pass one. We have a question in the comments. Sam wants to know, was Dune an inspiration for this game?
Dune Imperium is an inspiration for this game, as is the original Dune. The original Dune, these will be combat dials similar to what you had in the original Dune, although I think there's a lot of games that use combat dials. Yeah. The play them as agents versus use the recruit power is definitely a Dune inspiration. Although in Dune, the agent, it's a worker placement, so the agents take a spot, and here it's area control, so you're just getting tokens down for area control. And also in Dune, you only get a certain number of those. And this, it's flexible. You can do your entire recruit turn right off the bat and not put any tokens down, or you could skip your recruit turn entirely and just put all tokens down, assuming you had the tokens. So hopefully that answers Sam's question.
I suspect it does.
Ask Sam why he's not sitting here playing with us.
I know, right? He said family. Ugh.
Yeah, I can understand that. So is there any questions about the guild phase? This is kind of the main phase of the game that we're each taking turns kind of jockeying for position and buying cards. When you do buy, you buy out of the market and then it refreshes after you're done for the next player to look at it. But it doesn't refresh as you buy. Is
the market located in India? You said you do buy things. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dubai?
Dubai.
Is Dubai in India? I think that's Mumbai.
Yeah, no, it's hell, I can't remember. Somewhere in the Middle East.
I believe that's true.
So,
If you're
all
gonna make a
right.
bad joke, make it in the right place.
Any further questions about the guild
It's
phase?
probably United Arab Emirates. Yep, it's United
So
Arab
somebody's
Emirates.
looking it up on Google, I can tell.
I looked it up.
Good. All right. So once we're done with the guild phase, everybody's done their recruit. The guild phase ends when everybody's done the recruit and everybody's had an equal number of turns. So it gets back around to first player and everybody's done their recruit. We go to resolution. And the way resolution works is the 2 cities with the most tokens in them will get resolved. We will take these little clash markers, and the city with the most tokens will get the major clash marker, and the city with the next most tokens will get the minor clash marker. If there is a tie, whoever's first player gets to decide how to attribute that. Then we will resolve these 2 cities, starting with the minor, then the major. And I'm going to give you an example of resolution using the major in this case.
Minor first, then major.
Minor first, then major.
Okay.
So there's kind of 2 parts of the resolution for a city. There is a clash. This is where you'll use your clash planner and you will be bidding blades to win the clash. And then after that's done, as that process unfolds, you may lose tokens off of the city that you used for the clash. Okay. When that's done, then the second part is a payout for the city, and the payout for city will use the tokens that remain. So the clash starts with everybody in their hidden clash planner. You can also flip these things over if you want. It's another way to do it. You select a number of blades that you wish to put into the clash. If you right click on this, you'll see a state, and the state goes 1 to 20, and you just pick the number. There you go. You just did it for 13. 20 is blank. So 20 is a 0 bid, right? So it's 1 through 19, 20 is a 0 bid. In addition to making your bid here, at the same time, you have to attribute any bonuses that you get. You can buy blades using gold. There's a little key right here that shows you how much. And there are cards, subterfuge cards, and guild cards may also give you bonuses. You can use 1 subterfuge card and 1 guild card for a bonus. You can buy blades, and you can bid higher than those total. Anything you bid over that you can't pay for in the clash planner will come out of tokens on the city. And let me give you an example of this. So here's the example. This example, by the way, is documented right here in the city resolution key. So this is this example right here that I'm going to run through. So for this setup, let's say after all the planning is done, that is the red player's bid, this is the green player's bid, and this is the yellow player's bid. Only first and second pay their bids. So in this case, green will not have to pay, and they just put their bid away. First and second do have to pay. So red has first with a bid of 4. He bought 1 blade using a gold, so he'd decrement his gold 1. Then he has to make up for the other 3. He uses tokens off of the city to do that. The weapons tokens are worth 2 blades when you spend them, and the guile tokens are worth 1 blade. So he's got to come up with 3 more. So there's 2 and 1. There's his 3. So he paid his 4 bid. Yellow's got to pay his bid of 2. He can do that with just 1 weapons token. All right. So any questions about how that's calculated and how you pay for it? The winner gets to pick one of the 2 power cards up here. There's one for the minor and one for the major, and put that down. For example, let's say the winner, red, picks the Darkun power card. He gets the top first place reward, which is 8 victory points on the track and a card. And then the second place, which is yellow, gets the bottom reward, which is 3 gold and 3 victory points. And once you collect your reward, we will just flip this over, and it shows that the Darkun have won 1 clash in Hamor, assisted by red. So this is how the clash resolves. Any questions about that?
Where was that card reward?
It's on the other side of this.
And which card is that?
Okay, for example, red won this, so he gets 8 victory points. And he gets a card. That's a subterfuge card. He gets to pick one of those 2 stacks to draw from.
One of those 2 cards.
Yeah, so he takes that one. He
Okay.
can usually just put it in your hand. It stays hidden.
And you can pick either one. Up to you.
You can pick either one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually give you a little bit of detail on subterfuge cards in a minute. So all right, so this is the end of the clash. Green had bid 1, but because he's 30, doesn't have to pay. But if he had been second, he would have had to pay a gold for his 1. So after we finish the clash, we then score the city. And this is, there's no bidding in this. It's just whatever's left over. So winning is kind of a balance between trying to win the clash and win the city. In this case, the connection tokens down here in the green count double for this. So green has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens on the city. Red has 1, 2, 3. Yellow has 1. So green takes first. First place is a racket, which he then puts in Hamor. And this is green, which he can now use every turn. Second place gets 2 tokens and out of his reserve and 3 victory points. And third place, which is yellow, just gets 3 gold. Okay. And all the tokens are removed when this happens. Tokens are gone. So you may have noticed that the guile tokens are only 1 of each, whereas the weapons count double here, and the connections count double here. So you know why guile seems weaker, but here's the difference. You see this little symbol here on these 2. Whenever you lose tokens out of guile, they go back to your guild hall. They don't go into your reserve, so they'll be available the next turn. Whenever you use tokens out of weapons or connections, they will go into your reserve. They're gone, and you'll have to get them back out later. So that's the advantage of guile. It's not as powerful, but you get to keep reusing them. All right, that is resolution. We'll do this for the 2 cities, minor and major. Any questions about that?
I think it'll click once we see an example turn. Or once
Yeah,
you go
yeah,
first.
it should click once we start playing. There is one minor detail. Kurnor is, since that's the namesake of the game, it's treated a little bit differently than the other cities. It will only resolve twice in the game, once on the first turn and once on the last turn. And regardless of the number of tokens, it's always the major. So it'll be Kurnor in whichever city has the most tokens, but Kurnor will be the major and that other city will be the minor.
First
but that's
round
only
and last round.
First round and last round. First round, you are playing for these 3 rackets. Then they'll get taken in the first round by the winners. Last round, you're playing for victory points. So
18 victory points. Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah, that's right. It's about. I'm going to get to scoring just in a second, but it's about worth. I mean, you might get 9 out of one of these cards, so it's double that. It's double what you typically get off of a racket. So it's about double winning one of the other cities normally. So you do have one card I want to explain. You're going to start the game with a guild master. This will happen during setup. This guild master will be a card you just put down here and you don't have it in play. You can look at it, but you don't have it in play. And this is a card that when you get it in play, it's a little more powerful and it gets you some nice bonus. You also start with in your hand a Shadow Guild Master. The Shadow Guild Master does basically trashes cards out of your hand, but when the Shadow Guild Master gets trashed, it will go into the trash and this card will come into play. Okay, so that's how you get it. Your regular Guild Master in play is by trashing the Shadow Guild Master. The Shadow Guild Master has this little promote icon in the corner. And what that means is that every turn you play this card, it does not go back in your deck shuffled. Instead, it always goes on the top. So it is always available every turn until you trash it. Then when you trash it, this one will come into play on top of your deck, but after that, it's treated like a normal card. Any questions about that? The way you normally reset your deck is you'll take any cards that are here, you'll shuffle them. This will include cards you buy. You put them on the bottom of your deck, and then you'll draw from your deck. Okay, and this one will go on the top, and then you'll draw from your deck. When you buy it from the market, you'll see these two on the end have promote. If you buy one of those two cards out of the slot, it actually goes to the top and not into your discard, so you can get it right away. Let me cover scoring. So there's 3 ways to score during the game. The first way you've seen already, which is when you win a clash, first and second score some points. The second way is when a city completes. This happens eventually as the city gets resolved. At some point, it'll have been resolved 3 times. When it's resolved 3 times, the city's complete. We're going to put a lock on it. It's out of play. But we'll also score any rackets that have been collected from there. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Whenever you win a clash, you put a token on it to indicate that you won that. All right. So green would have, no, it was red. Red won this. When he won it, in addition to collecting the rewards, he would have dropped a token on it. And so whenever you win one of these cities, you drop a token on it. That's the clash. Whenever you take a racket out of the city, green took the racket out of the city, they drop a token in this guild presence area. And you'll notice that everybody starts with 1 in Kurnor. Okay, that just means, basically just means you won first in that city and took a racket at some point. When the city gets 3 resolutions and ends, we flip it over and we lock it. And we score, everybody who has a guild presence token there gets to score based on, has nothing to do with having a token on it, based on how the city went and their influence. This is explained right here on the scoring key. There's an example of this. Let me set up that example exactly, just so we'll see it. Here's green.
Just a little like Scythe. The more you go up the track, and then when the track scores, you get more
when the
points.
City scores, you'll get more points, but it depends on which way it went, right? So in this example, green took first in the city and took a racket once. When the city closes, green will score 3 points for each of the Darkun cards in that city, and that's because he's in that position on the track, and 2 points for each Empire card, and that's because he's in that position on the track. So he'd score 8 points. If it had, say, gone this way instead at some point, he would have scored 7 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's how the city scores at the end. And this is for every token you have there. If you've won twice, you would have 2 tokens up there and you'd score that twice. All right. The third way you score is at the end of the game. And this one's pretty straightforward, currently at least. You get 7 points if you completed your Guildmaster's requirement. If you look at this one on the very bottom, little brackets, it says the most gold. So if you have the most gold out of everybody at the end of the game, you get 7 victory points. And you get 1 point for every token you have in your guild hall at the end of the game. So
how do we tell that card's worth 7?
They're all worth 7. Because I haven't done anything.
What?
Every Guildmaster, every
Guildmaster is worth 7. Okay.
Everybody starts with a Guildmaster, and if they meet their requirement, they get 7 points. The requirement.
And the Shadow Guildmaster doesn't count in that?
Nope. Shadow Guildmaster is just your tool for trashing your deck and eventually getting that.
So every Guildmaster is 7 except the Shadow Guildmaster is 0.
Yeah, the Shadow Guildmaster is technically not one of the Guildmasters. You're going to start with a Guildmaster, and this is going to start in your deck kind of as a placeholder for it. How about that?
Okay.
All right. The game will run 7 turns. On the last turn of the game, there's going to be 1 city that is not completed, and Kurnor will become available again. And we'll actually use locks to track when Kurnor becomes available or not. And so that'll be the last two conflicts of the game, and then they'll score because they'll both be completed, and then we'll score the in-game conditions, and the game is over. So that's the bulk of it. There's little nuances here and there. Probably one I should tell you about up front, though, is you can only have one racket per city. So if you ever collect another racket in a city where you have one, you have to pick one of the two to keep. You'll still score it because you put a token up there. Like if I won this, let's say this was the racket. I won this one again. I'm going to have to pick one of those two rackets to keep, but I still have 2 tokens up there to score with.
And there's 5 cities, 3 spots each. That's 15, but there's only 7 rounds. So that means
There's 12, 13, because this scores at the end, and 14. Sorry, there's 14. The Kurnor, when it scores at the end, it'll have done once in the beginning, and then once it'll go in the end, but it'll actually score 2 cards. So it's worth more in the clash as well.
So there's 14 spots, but of the 14 spots, how many will get resolved at game's end?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah. The game will run 7 rounds. Each round, 2 spots get resolved.
Got it. Each round is 2. Okay, that's what I was missing.
Yeah, that's the major and the minor. Right. 2 cities resolve, and that's a spot for each city that resolves. It'll become clear. There's a couple little nuances I'm skipping over just because it's easier for me to kind of demonstrate how it works. So I do want to really quickly talk about some differences in the subterfuge cards. If you look at this subterfuge card, it has a little picture of a guy up front, and it says on your agent turn. That is a basically indicator when that card can be played. So when you play an agent down, agent means you send it to a city and put tokens down, you can play this card. This one, I'm sorry, that's not the right one. Let me find one that does. Here we go. This card has a little clash indicator, and that means when you're in a clash, you can put this in your clash planner and use it to get blades. I just want to show you those two. There are cards in here that don't say either thing. There may be ones like this one that have text that say on your recruit turn. If it doesn't specify, it's whenever. And all of these cards, if you don't like the power, you can just discard it for 3 gold at any time. All right, if you guys are pretty comfortable, I will load up a cleaner version. That was the version I used for the teach. This is the ready to go version.
So this plays up to 5?
Currently I have it at 4, but I'm certainly considering taking it to 5. I haven't tested it at 5 yet. I've tested a lot at 3 and 4. So, all right. Do you guys want me to go first?
Well, first, Sam wanted to say that he is down for a makeup playtest in the future. So obviously he feels bad that he's not here tonight.
Oh, I was just teasing him. He doesn't have to feel obliged, but I would love to have him playtest. So,
okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, why don't you start us off?
Okay, how about I start? There's a little bit of setup that happens here. The setup is this. If someone would do me a favor and put out a market card in each spot.
So. Cat. That's what you get.
Looks very Darkunish, but anyhow. All right, so I think everything's shuffled and set up.
Everything.
3-player game. We're going to start like this. So not every city is available every turn, and I'll kind of walk through how that works as we play. The city, when a city resolves, this flag will probably move somewhere else, and that city will become available.
Okay.
And this will continue to a city closes, and then something gets locked. And then when they're all locked, we'll end up down at 2, and then the game will end. It'll be pretty clear how that works.
Thematically, what is a lock actually?
It's a truce. The guilds have made a truce over there, and they're not going to fight in that city. So the lock just means that one of the two factions has completely dominated the city, because it'll be 3 cards. It'll be either 2 Darkun or 2 Empire.
So thematically, it would be like a dove with an olive branch in its talon.
Yeah, I just needed a flag, so there you go. But
Mhm.
yeah, a dove with an olive branch. This is a truce indicator, and this is one of the two factions has locked the city down, and now any criminal activity there is very tightly controlled by that faction.
So
you don't have a free hand.
This round we can only do Hamor and Kurnor.
That is correct.
Got it.
You can only do Hamor
And we already
Kurnor.
know the major will be on Kurnor, right?
Yeah, it is always on Kurnor. In addition, these two this is the only time there's a racket for second place. These 2 rackets are fairly lucrative compared to the starting rackets. I'll go ahead and put those out.
Are the rackets you're putting out shuffled? I don't think they actually got shuffled.
No, they didn't get shuffled, but I don't know what order they're in, so if that helps.
Okay.
if you want, we can shuffle them. There's a little bag there I shuffle them with, but I would set this up earlier and shuffled them and put them down, and I don't know what order they're in.
So if it's your turn, I say take us away.
All right. Well, we start this way. Whoever's going to go last, which is going to be Evan, will draw 2 of those cards, and 1 each of the 2 subterfuge cards. And then you pick one of the 2 guildmasters to be your guildmaster, and you put it down there, and you put the other one back on top. And you pick one of the 2 cards to keep, and you discard the other one. And now, Matthew, you do the same thing.
Draw 2, you said, right?
Draw 2, pick 1. Evan, you can put it down here in the guildmaster slot. It will not be in play until you trash your don't show it.
Oh, don't show it.
I'm not looking.
Perfect.
Face down right here. It should snap. There we go.
Yeah.
When you trash this will come into play. So, and then you get to pick one of those 2, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Shuffle these up, draw 2, pick 1. I'll pick that one. The rest of these are out of the game. I get 1 of each card. And we are set up. So the other thing you need to do is shuffle your deck and then put your guildmaster on top. So you just flip them over.
Which guildmaster do we put on top? The
Shadow
guy?
Shadow guildmaster. Yeah.
Sorry, what am I missing? Shuffle these and then put the guildmaster
Yep.
on top?
Shuffle them and then put that guy on top.
Why wouldn't I put them face up? I don't think it matters. We all know what it is.
And it doesn't matter. You can put them face up if you want. So we start with the planning phase, which is you collect income of 1 gold for every token you have in a city. I'm going to get rid of all these pink guys since they're out of play. So we each get 1 gold first round of the game because we each got 1 token.
How do we keep track of it? Is that our little counter?
That counters your gold, yeah.
So we go up to 3. Got it.
Go up to 3. You shuffle your play area. We did that. You put your guildmaster on top. We did that. Shadow guildmaster. You draw 5 cards. And you reset rackets, and we're all good there. And then you may buy tokens from your reserve into your guild hall.
And the tokens are what we use to pay for our bid?
Tokens are what you're going to be putting on the map to try to gain control and pull things off. So,
what else is the currency to buy tokens used for?
Gold. It can be used in combat to buy blades. And you're going to see as we play, a lot of rackets will look like this one or this one, where you will pay gold to get some benefit. This is pay gold to trash, pay gold to draw, get a subterfuge card, pay gold to get more buy.
When do you use the rackets?
You use the rackets at any time. When you use it, you will just flip it over, and then it resets at the start of the next planning phase. So I'm going to spend 1 gold to get a token out. Actually, I'm going to spend 2, 3, and to get 2 tokens out, and I'm good.
Whoa, how'd you get 4 gold? Cheater.
I only had 3 gold. Sorry.
The
I
first
just
cost
did.
1, the second cost 2.
You can get 1 for a gold. You can get 2 for 3 gold. You can get 3 for 6 gold. I just did it. I did it. I shouldn't have done it in steps. This
I
is what,
see.
yeah, here's where I was. Let me show you. Here's where I was.
Yep.
I spent all 3 gold to get 2 tokens.
Using the top ability here plus this.
No,
Oh, no,
I
no,
didn't
no.
use
Using the
this. I
second
just
ability.
paid 3 to get 2 tokens.
Guys, okay.
It gets progressively more expensive. You only do this once, right?
So
This
you don't
isn't-
have to do the 1 and then the 2. You just skipped right to the 2, which is 3 for 2.
Yeah, you just pay one of the 3 prices and you get that many tokens. And you do this once.
Now, if I
This
do
phase.
this once and get the same number of tokens, but I could also do my
You can lay out later. You can say, "Hey, I'm going to get 2 gold." You can say later, "Hey, I'm going to get a token."
I could also do my Kurnor thing.
Could do it right now if you want. That's up to you.
Mhm.
But you only get it once during the turn. So if you think you need them, you can do it. You can always just hold off and do it when you think you need it.
Seems like a good plan. I'll copy you guys. Whoa, how'd you get 5?
I flipped my thing over.
Yep, he used his
Oh,
racket.
what a cheater.
Hey, you can do that. You can do that whenever you want. So I'm going to kick us off. I will play an enforcer. I will send my enforcer to Kurnor, and I'll put 1 token in the weapons row. And that was my turn.
And by being in the weapons row, that means you have 2 blades?
It'll count double if I use them for blades. It'll count for 2 blades.
And-
No,
and
I have to lose the token to get the blades.
Okay, but as far as area of influence, you're just 1 token for winning the city, right?
If I don't spend it on blades, it'll be 1 token for winning the city. If I spend it on blades, it's worth 2 blades. But then the token will be gone.
All right,
For
so
the
it's my
city.
turn.
Yep.
So I can put 1 here, right?
Yeah, you got to play an agent to do this, right?
You got to play an agent. Okay. What was the agent that lets me, enforcer lets me shake down merchants and keep freelancers away from guild? The enforcer's how I get to play things?
All of these cards let you play things if they have agent ranks on the left side. Your Shadow Guild Master, you notice, has none, so you can't use a Shadow Guild
All right,
Master.
so I can do this one to do the same thing you did.
Yes, correct.
And it's the red sword with the number 1 that indicates I can place 1 cube, right?
Correct.
Okay. I think it's your turn, Evan.
Except for it would go down in this row, right?
Oh, that determines the row?
Yes, it is a weapons.
I see the icon now. Okay,
Yeah.
so if I go back to my hand and look for a purple,
Yep.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
So you played a sneak and you put it up there. Correct. Yep, you got it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not surprising. All right, I will put 1 up here.
No,
Something I do just kind of make it easy is kind of line them up vertically by player, so it's just easy to see who's doing what.
now you could have equally placed him in Hamor, right?
Yes, I could have.
Okay. So if it were to end right now, you've got 2 cubes to Evan and my 1, which means you would be in first place. And then how do we break the tie, Evan and I?
Well, so I'll tell you how to break the tie, but no, I'm not necessarily in first place because keep in mind, we're going to do a clash, which may cost tokens. And then we're going to resolve the city with whatever tokens are left. So there's 2 resolutions that happen here that are opposed. It's kind of deciding how you want to spend your tokens to win the clash or to win the rackets out of the city. He has 2 towards the city. I have 3 blades towards the clash, but only 2 towards the city, and you only have 1 of each.
It's hard for me to gauge it, but I'll just keep going. It's fine.
Yeah, when we play through, you'll see it. As far
okay.
as tiebreakers go, tiebreakers go to whoever's highest on the influence track for whichever faction controls that city. Later in the game, that'll be like one of these will be down.
We're
Right
tied
now,
at the moment, though, right?
right. Yeah, right now, no, there's no ties in this game. Right now, ties go to the Empire. That's a default. That's what the little indicator there is.
So if you just summarize it, if Evan and I tie, who was the tiebreaker?
You are
Because I'm more left in the position or something?
correct. I missed that. Yes.
Okay.
When you move up, move yourself as far, move yourself to the left, but behind other players. So whoever gets up first gets the left position.
And that was just because luck of the setup, or how did I get the leftmost position?
Well,
Cheater.
yeah, I cheated. Normally you would go first. I had the first player
Okay.
marker over there, and because
Okay.
going first is a slight disadvantage, you get a slight advantage there.
Well, then we should put
Yeah,
me at the,
if we do that, if we do this correctly, it should look like
yeah. Why don't we do it that way?
this.
'Cause I went second and Evan went last.
Yes, it should look
Cheaters.
like that. And
Perfect.
here.
Okay.
And
I'll go
here too.
into
So you go
the
first
sneak.
and you win ties. I see.
Well, we
Yeah,
fixed it.
going first is a disadvantage. It
I
means I
see
got to
how it
commit
is.
before you guys do.
I'm
Sam
the one who
wants to
found
know.
it.
Sam wants to know what's the minimum player count.
Right now
0.
it's 3. Yeah, 0.
0.
Yeah, the game does not need to be played. So, right now it's 3. I'm still working on a 2-player version. The difference will be in the 2-player version. It'll be very heavily one play. You want to try to lock down a faction. It'll end up being Empire versus Darkun, with each player kind of picking a side. But I'm still working on that. Right now
Hey,
it's
now,
3
that's
and
my city.
4. I might go up to 5. So, all right. So it's back to me. All right. I'll go here again.
Okay, back to me. I'll play this red card and go into this red spot.
Well then.
Yeah, getting serious about that one. All right. I'm going to take my recruit turn. So I'm going to put both of those down.
And let's see if I got this right. Your buying power is of 4?
Yes. I'm going to buy this one for 2. I'll buy this one for 1. I'm going to waste the last one because there's nothing else to buy for 1. So that was my buy power.
Does the market shift, or that's it?
The market it shifts to the right and refills when I'm done.
Okay.
So, and I am done, so you can do that if you want.
That's what I was checking.
I can also trigger the bottom ability of my Shadow Guildmaster, which is to trash a card. I'm going to absolutely do that. I'm going to trash one of my Enforcers to get it out of my hand. And then this card goes back on top of my deck. And that was my recruit phase.
Okay.
I am also going to just use my racket right now to get 2 gold while I'm thinking of it. So I'm done.
Okay. So I could put another one in Kurnor that would potentially help me win the city, right?
Yep.
But I could buy some long-term deck building. This game kind of says you should go for the deck building when possible. That's how it reads. So
maybe I've been beat at this game too many times by playing heavy on the deck building.
let me see what this is. What's the +1 on a track? Is that what that ability is?
Yeah, that
that sounds pretty good.
+1 influence. Yeah, it's a pretty nice card, and there's 2 of them out there right now. Nice. Also note that it's two connections if you use it to put tokens down, which is fairly solid.
That's what I was saying. So if I ditch these 2 for the 4 buying power influence, I can grab these 2 2s.
They cost 3.
They cost 3.
Cost is in the upper right hand corner.
Cost is top right.
Where's the cost? Oh,
top right.
There are 3.
Bottom left is what they're going to be. Their purchase power later. Top right is their current value.
And these
current cost.
The value is the value, but they just auto promote. That's the only difference, right?
The only difference is in the last 2 slots, they'll go to the top of your deck.
And this little symbol, that means going up a track as well?
That little symbol is wild. So the doppelganger here has 1 guile and 1 he can choose to put anywhere.
Oh, so he puts 2 cubes,
2
one
cubes,
one anywhere and 1 in a specific location.
correct.
Okay. Boy, and he promotes. Oh, I'll go for him. He goes on the top of the deck because he's got the
Yep.
promote slot.
Correct.
And I spent the 4, and that's it, right?
You can trigger that ability because you
Oh,
have
that's right.
2 agent power.
Yeah, I mean, if you did it, sounds like the efficient play. You got rid of the
Yeah,
enforcer. I'm
you
gonna get rid
definitely
of
want to
the
clean
enforcer.
your deck a little bit, yeah.
There.
And then this card goes back to the top of your deck. So
Which
you get a
means
next
I get
turn.
both
Yeah,
guys next turn, yeah.
that's correct. And you're done, and it's to Evan.
Okay, so I obviously also have 4. And oh, I should have done that. I'm gonna do this for $2, obviously. And then
Since there's definitely some vibes of Dune Imperium,
yeah.
was that, did you play it then you had the idea for this, or were you working on this and then you pivoted when that came out, or?
No, I blatantly was inspired directly by that
Okay.
and by Moonrakers, even though you'll see no relation to Moonrakers in this game. But
What
I really liked the in Moonrakers that the rewards were negotiated between players, and there's different ways to split up rewards. But I didn't like the negotiation piece, and I wanted to be a competitive, so I kind of came up with this dual resolution, so that you're not sure how people are going to apply themselves towards the rewards, but it's not negotiation.
Can you walk me through the bottom ability on this gang leader?
Where's the gang leader? Right here. Yes, so he can be used in a combat for a blade, but if you have a token in the city, like one of those tokens, or like if you win here, you'll have a token up there, then he's actually worth 3 instead of 1.
So what's the little blue square in the bottom right?
That's this.
Is that a city?
That's a token in a city. So if you use him in a city where you have a token, 3 blades.
No, but what's the icon in the bottom right of that card?
It's this icon on
That's
the city.
this city icon here.
Yeah, I'm calling it guild presence right now.
It's that icon.
Look at Kurnor. Look right here, Evan.
Okay.
See, you have a cube there. You have guild presence in Kurnor.
I see.
So you have a cube in that spot. If you use this guy in a combat and a clash in Kurnor, he's worth 3 blades. But if you were to use him, say, in Tyra, where you have none, he's only 1 blade. So he's more valuable if you use him someplace where you've already taken the city once.
I see.
It doesn't go in your hand, though.
Well,
goes on the top of your deck, right?
For me to do
yeah.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yes.
Just making sure I had it right.
Okay. All right, and by that sucker.
You get to take a discard trash action if you want.
Maybe I will, since everybody else is doing it. Maybe I will. It'll be this guy.
And that goes back to the top of your deck every turn. All right. And it's back to me, and we've all taken a recruit turn, and so this phase ends because I'm first player. If Evan had played another card down, Matt, you and I would each got a token, and then it'd come back to him. So, all right. So now we're on to the resolution phase. Kurnor is the major. Hamor is the minor. You guys get to fight over that first.
We could have placed those before this phase, though, right? We already knew what was minor, what was major.
Only because this was Kurnor. Later it'll be whichever one has the most tokens.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we could have, but
So now we're bidding the number of blades?
Yeah. So you guys are gonna basically bid some number of blades. And then if you're gonna pay gold to get those, you're gonna put in here the amount of gold you're paying.
And my blades, I look for where again to see what my power is?
Right now, you're not going to get them off of cards unless you got it on a subterfuge card. You're mostly going to get them by using tokens out of the city. So
There's a symbol
let me give you an example. Let's say
Mhm.
I'm Evan and I want to bid 3 in this city. And I put up 1 gold towards that. I only got 2. I decided to put 1 up towards that. I bid 3. Okay. So I'm going to pay a gold. That gets me 1 blade. I need 2 more. I will spend this token for the other
Hey,
2.
it's my token.
Yeah, it's your token. Which means it'll help me win the clash, but in the city, I'll have 1 less token to win the city. There's a trade-off here. You're making a trade-off between winning these cards and controlling which way the city goes versus winning the rewards on the right and getting a token here. Does that help?
And yeah, and other than paying the gold to get the daggers, the blades, and having them on your cards, where was the other location for blades?
Tokens, gold, they can be on subterfuge cards. You can only use 1 per combat. You would just put it down in there. And they can be on guild cards like the one that Evan just bought. I mean, he can't use it now because it's not out there, but in a later turn, he'll get access to it.
When I had played my spy, I'm just noticing there was a symbol on the bottom. Should I have taken advantage of that or no?
That's only if you used it for the bottom ability, which you did
That's
not.
correct.
Okay.
You use this guy as an agent to put tokens down, so you do not
Okay.
get his bottom ability.
Okay.
So you guys got some idea? Do you understand?
Yeah,
what
so
you need?
just can you just summarize for me? How many blades do I have lucratively if I cash in everything? I don't think I have any, right?
Well, you got no gold. You could get 1 blade by spending that token.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Well, it depends.
Depends on what I'm going for.
Chances are Evan's going to beat you. He's got gold to spend. He can spare the token. Chances are Evan's going to beat you.
Unless I sneak it in there.
He might sneak it in there. So, but you're only going to take either second for the clash or second for the city. Maybe you get first, but you're not going to get rewards from both because you have to spend the token.
How many blades is a token worth?
That token's worth 1.
It's worth 1. Okay, and to switch it, I hit that. Oh, there it goes. Okay, never mind.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, if you guys are ready.
Okay.
Show 'em.
You took yours away. Are you not bidding or?
He's not.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't bid because I'm not present.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Evan pays 2 gold for his 2 blades.
Yep.
And Evan decides if he wants Darkun or Empire.
Is there a benefit or detriment either way? Benefit or detriment either way?
They tend to be somewhat balanced. You'll notice this is fewer victory points, but more influence. And that one's more victory points, but this is 5 and 2 bump up the track. This is 7, but only 1 bump up the track.
Okay, I'll do that, Kevin.
So I get the other one, right?
Nope, no. You would get the second place on this.
Oh, he's choosing that one. I got it.
He chooses, you get.
Points.
Yeah.
And 2 bumps.
5 points. No, 5 points. You did your 5, right? And 2 bumps, correct. Yes, you got it right. And you got 2 points and 1 bump. Your bump, Matthew, can be on either track. His bump had to be on this track.
Oh, well, let me diversify. I'll go to the other track.
Sure. And we flip that over. Evan, you put a token from your reserve on there just to show you're the guy that won that. And that's it. We're done with that. Now we resolve the city.
I was just going to ask when we lose or gain our tokens back from the city.
Well, if you spent them in the clash, it would be now. But nobody spent any tokens. Evan got his blades entirely with gold. And so now we're going to resolve the city and you'll get them back. So Evan has 2. Matthew, you have 1. So Evan takes first place. So he gets the racket and Hamor. That comes flipped over though. Just for the record, you can't use it till next turn. And Evan, you put a token up here to show you 1. And then Matthew, you get 2 tokens and 3 victory points.
The 2 tokens go in my little reserve?
Yes, correct. Into your guild hall. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And now these 2 tokens go back to the guild halls. This token goes back to the reserve. Correct. And that city's done. So now we're going to do the same thing here.
So if I spend one of my orange cubes, I can get 2 blades if it's this guy. Right?
Yes, that's correct.
And if I spend both of them, I can get 3 blades, but then I can't win anything.
You can't win anything in the city. You will only be winning things in the clash. You're only fighting for
the clash is the card. Okay.
If I put 0 blades, would I still get the 3rd place? Oh, there is no 3rd place for the clash.
No 3rd place on the clash. Yeah, actually, I mean, we just, since we did it this way, let's keep playing it this way. But generally, I played that if you have no blades, you can't place at all in the clash. And if you have no tokens, you can't place in the city. But but we already broke that. So let's just play consistently that you can still take 2nd with no blades. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just trying to think what you would be throwing in here. I'm not sure how it's gonna shake out. Let me do this. Oops. All right.
I bet a 4. I spent 2 gold to do it. All right, so I burn 1 token for 2 and 2 gold for the other 2. So I paid. Matthew, you got to spend a token.
Which is this one here, right?
Yeah, it goes back to your guild hall.
Oh, even if you spend it for that.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you could have bid 2 and spent that one instead.
Right, but I chose just to do the 1.
Just did the 1. Yep. So I win. I decide I will take this Empire. So first place is 7 and 1 influence, and you get 2nd place, which is 3 and 3 gold.
Being orange?
Yes. You
Just
bid. You took 2nd place. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
Yep. And 3 gold.
And 3 gold. Hey, I got some gold back.
Yep. And I put a token to show I won that. And now we resolve the city, and I think I took first. I have 2. Evan has 2, but because I'm 1 up above him on the Empire track, I win the tiebreaker. Do you follow that, Evan? Did you follow that, Evan?
Yes.
Okay. So I took the first. Second goes to Evan. He has 2 still.
Can I just draw one of these subterfuge cards?
What?
No, no, no. You get the racket. The racket will get you a subterfuge card every turn.
Oh. And that goes where?
In Kurnor. You're gonna pick.
One?
You're gonna pick one of the 2 you want to keep. You probably want to keep that one. Yeah.
But I don't get it this turn.
You don't get it this turn.
And where do we see your strength? It's the number of cubes now?
I have 2. You have 1. Evan has 2 because his is in the green row.
Oh, the green rolls were 2. That's what I was missing. Got it.
Yep.
that roll.
But I won the tie because I'm 1 up on him on the Empire track. Yep.
So I get 5 coins.
You get 5 coins. Yep. And then this token comes back to me. The rest of the tokens go into reserve. And we're done with Kurnor. So now the truces, one of them goes to Kurnor. One of them goes to the city that's furthest along. And the third one I get to place because it's a tie and I'm currently first player. So I get to place it.
What's a tie?
Is it
it-
evaluate your first placeness on the beginning of your turn or the end of your turn?
And this is done in the last phase, which is update city locks during cleanup.
Yeah, what is a tie so you get to choose?
So one of them goes in Kurnor because it's always first and last. One of them goes in Hamor because it is further along than the other cities. And that leaves 3 cities with one of them getting a lock, and I decide.
Why?
And I decide because I'm first player.
Because you're first player. Okay. Got it.
Yes.
First player always decides the
If
last
there's
one.
a choice, there's often not a choice, but if there's a choice, they decide. So I locked Tyra. We replace these cards, so we draw another one of these. We draw another one of these. We replace rackets. So we have a level 2 racket in Hamor, and there's no rackets in Kurnor. We update the market. These 2 cards get trashed, and the market moves down. We score any completed cities, which there are none, and we pass first player to Matthew. So now that was 1 round. So we're now starting the 2nd round in the planning phase. So you get income. Evan, you get 2, 3. I get 3. Matthew gets 1.
How do I
One
get
what?
3?
Income.
Right? How do we calculate that?
1 cube. It's for every cube you got on a city. 1, 2, 3 for Evan. 1, 2, 3 for me. 1 for Matthew.
And that was gold, right?
That's gold. Yep. You shuffle your play area.
I don't shuffle my deck though.
You don't shuffle your deck, but the play area goes on the bottom of your deck. I stole that from Arnak, if you like it.
So we shuffle these and they go on the bottom, so
That's correct. Yep. Draw 5.
How do you put it on the bottom? Isn't there a fancy key?
Yeah, you hold the mouse and you hold right click and you can slide it under, but you need table space to do it.
It's a pain on the bottom. It's easier to pick up your deck and put it on top.
No, I thought there was a fancy little.
There is. It's like,
I don't remember.
yeah, pick it up and hit some key, but I forget what it is. Reset your rackets. So you'll get them, it'll be available again. And then can buy stuff from reserve. Buy tokens out. I will buy 2 tokens. And I'm done with my planning phase.
Is there a max of tokens you can have?
There's no max of tokens you can have. There's a max you can buy out each turn.
Wow.
I'll get 3.
No, I think somebody's going to win somewhere this time. But that's fair. You didn't win either of those, so. You lead us off. Durnville and Celestia are the 2 open cities this round.
And the bonuses are pay 3 but gain a subterfuge?
Pay 3 to get a subterfuge card or just get 2 gold. Keep in mind that winning this also puts a token up there, which gets you a gold every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sam's saying how funny it is. You guys have some similarities in the games you're working on.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All right, Sam, you got to come talk to me. I wanna know what you're
Yeah,
working.
you guys got to play each other's games.
And we don't know which one is major or minor until the number of cubes.
It's based on how heavy we go. Where we're fighting.
Oh, should I have drawn 5 cards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
from
you
the
should
top.
draw 5 cards.
All right, so if I put an emissary, he gets to do a bunch of things. So I get to put a cube on sneak and a cube on green, right? 2 cubes.
That's correct.
And then I don't get to do the track because I played them that way.
You don't get the stuff on the bottom because you used them as an agent. So every time you play as an agent, you're making a choice not
Okay.
to get the recruit ability. It's to you, Evan.
Yes. Let's do that's a toughie. That's a toughie.
What does it mean to activate agent conditions?
Some of the agents, such as this one,
Mhm.
have requirements. I should have gone through this. Have requirements that you have played another agent. So to use this recruit ability,
Like the Frenneman synergy.
yes, it's a combo. So to use this recruit ability, you would have to have played another one down as an agent. The card you bought actually triggers that without having done so.
So I can trigger the bottom action if I had a card that.
If you had a card like this one right here that requires you to have played a Empire agent, you can trigger it.
Basically gives you the requirements. Okay.
It meets the requirements without having played the combo.
So it doesn't reactivate something; it just unlocks more ability.
It actually, for you, currently unlocks those 2 cards. Yep, unlocks those 2 cards.
The 2 trackers.
The ability on those 2. Yes. There are about 4 and they tend to be spread between Darkun and Empire. That card, it lets you kind of play both sides also. Otherwise, if you're buying just red, you're going to need a lot of red cards.
So I think Evan went, and I think it's back
it's
to you.
to me. Yep. All right. Well, I'm not surprised. Nobody wants to fight with the guy with all the cubes, so I'll go over to Durnville.
So I can't use the activate agent condition yet because I don't have a card which combos with it.
Yeah,
right?
you're better off using him to put cubes down, especially considering how flexible it is.
Mm-hmm. So I do 1 sneak and 1 anywhere I want.
Yep.
Let's make it interesting.
Yeah, that's what I expected. When you got all the cubes, you got cut out last round. So this round you're coming in strong. You should be fighting us everywhere you can.
So we can win second in the clash with no swords.
Yeah, that's normally not the rule, but I made a mistake there and let Matthew win second in the clash with no swords.
Yeah, I was like, that seems pretty overpowered.
Let's be consistent. No, it's you're supposed to dial at least 1 blade.
Yeah. When he was getting all that stuff, I was like, wait, he didn't even lose anything.
We can undo that. It's fine.
No, I made a mistake. Let's just it's fine. Either that or we can just let you get away with it and then play it the right way. How about we do that?
Let's play it the right way.
You got away with 1. Now we'll play it the right way. You cannot take second in the clash without bidding at least 1 blade.
So if you win, Matthew, that's an asterisk. Obviously.
Now we know his real motivation.
I'm just saying. I'm not competitive. You're competitive. There we go.
Remember, this is the guy who voluntarily found that he was in a first place advantage he shouldn't have been and had us correct it.
That's true.
All right. I got to fight somewhere for some attention. I will go here.
Oh, 1 of each.
Yeah.
Wow.
With a nice emissary.
The same thing you did.
Mm-hmm.
Cheater. Cheater, cheater.
I'm gonna try it. I'll go to my buy phase. So this is a 1. That's a 1. And that's a 2. So I get to grab those 2 synergy cards.
Nice. Yeah.
And they just go at the bottom of my deck, right?
Well, they go in your play area and they'll get shuffled up to the bottom. Yeah.
Okay. And then
You
I get the
can-
trash card.
Yes.
So let's get rid of Lowly Enforcer.
Lowly.
And your guild master goes back to the top of your deck. That
Just
guy.
the shadow one, not the other
Yeah,
guy.
that shadow one. I'm sorry. Yes, the shadow guild master.
But
goes.
Doppelganger will go back. No, he won't, right?
These will get shuffled and go in normally.
Okay. It's only because I bought them and I had the thing.
It's
Okay, I got
only because you bought it. This is just a bonus for
Mhm.
making those move. Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
So where do I want to fight?
Look out,
That's
people.
the question. I think I'm going to go here because I can guarantee that one. So that was my play.
So now you just get a cube.
He gets a cube. He passes and gets a cube. Yes.
All right. So I've got a 3 buy. Now, what are these tiny, tiny little icons down at the bottom?
You have to read the text. This
Right,
one
have
is
on
gain it
any...
like this. When you play this guy down for his recruit, that's worth a gold. But if you win more of them, it'll be worth more gold.
Wait, you said that. Can you use words?
Can I use words?
Yeah.
This is a power card.
What is this? What is this?
Oh, do you see where I'm tabbing? Where I'm pointing an
now
arrow?
I do, that I've zoomed out.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's a power card in a city.
Okay.
That was done through the clash. You have a cube on it. This guy gets you 1 gold for every one of those you have on the board.
Every cube on a power card.
Yes. Basically, every clash you win, he's going to be getting you 1 gold. So right now it's not much, but later in the game it could be worth a lot.
Got it. All right.
If you win in clash.
Come with me, buddy.
All right. He promotes, so he goes on top of your deck.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
All right. So that was my buy.
You actually can trigger both of those abilities. You have 4 agent
I
power,
will. So that one buys me a subterfuge, right?
Yes.
And then that says, oh, fancy. Okay. And then,
Guys, don't forget you got rackets sitting here too.
well, I don't have any
Evan.
money.
You can't fuel it this turn, but that's a useful one.
Oh, you're
right?
right. I should buy a racket. Or one of these. That says,
Do I only get to do that during my turn, or do I get to do it now?
The rule is any time, so until I find some reason it can't be any time.
So now I get to trash a card.
I guess I'll
believe
Yeah, you don't want to forget it, so you might as well do it.
trash this sucker. And then he goes back on top.
Yep.
All right.
And are you done?
That was it.
All right, so it is my turn. I managed to activate them both, and I have a 3 buy. I will take the negotiator for 3 and promote it because of where it's at. Trash a card. I'll trash this one. Get a card. I will take an Empire card. And that goes back to the top of my deck. And I have a racket that lets me trash a card. I will trash a card for a victory point. I will trash
Wow.
that card for a victory point.
Seems good.
Yeah, it's that was the first place for Kurnor. But I gave up, I gave up the 2 gold a turn for it. So I was done. I am done.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Matthew, you get to decide which one is major and which one is minor.
Because they're tied and I'm first player.
That's correct.
And major and minor is.
So
Okay, got it.
you're thinking you're locking this one in because you're at 3 cubes.
1, 2,
and we're at
3,
2.
4, and you're at 1, 2, 3. So I have the city locked. If I
Where's
don't,
the 4th one? Sorry.
the bottoms are worth 2.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. Okay.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, and I'm at 3.
Yeah, I've been told I need to put that double symbol over on this side, and I think that's correct.
And then this city over here, I'm at 2, 3, and then
Evan's at 3, and I'm at 2.
so then it goes down to
How you spend cubes and or
gold and or cubes, right? No,
yeah,
it's only gold.
and or influence. Yeah,
All right, so we'll call the
that's the major.
sure. I don't think it matters, but let's just go with it.
I mean, keep in mind, major and minor mostly matters for the conflict, not for the city. So, all right. So this is the minor, so we do it first.
Okay. So let's see.
The conflict is for the resources on the side, or is that the resources up here? It's the resource. It's the cards up on the top, right?
Cards
the
up
track?
on the top. Yes.
And we can spend our gold to get more guys, right?
Yeah. If you got it. If you're not broke like Evan and I are.
It's
Of course, every card can be discarded for 3 gold, so we can generate gold if we need it. So
it's for every gold spent, it's how many swords?
it depends on how much you spend. There's a key right here below
Oh,
your
there it is.
planner. This thing, let me show you. It goes 1 gold on the 1 position, 2 gold on the 2 position, 4 gold on the 3 position. The position is the number of blades you're getting. The gold is how much you're spending. And then the last one's the blank.
Makes sense.
So Evan's at 2, 3, 4, and I'm at 3.
No, I've got 1 cube over there.
He's got a cube in there.
Oh, so he's a 1. You're the 4. I'm
I'm the 4. You're the 3.
okay.
But that assumes none of the cubes leave. We'll see.
And I have to have at least 1 sword, but I already have swords in there, right?
No. You gotta put it on the dial and pay for it. And the way you will pay for it is with gold, cards, or tokens out of the city.
Okay.
Which may cause whether you win the city or not to change, right? That's kind of the whole thing, is you're choosing between where you want to throw your weight. You do have the advantage of having a lot of damn gold. So
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
I bet a 2.
Oh, we're revealing?
Yeah, if you bid 1 gold, you should have 1 blade.
I've got 3.
Oh, my mistake. I did bid 1 gold. There you go.
How are you paying for a 3 bid there?
I am bringing in reinforcements.
Yeah, very good. All right, I paid for mine with 2 gold, which I will waste a reinforcement card to get 3 gold. And then, yeah, I wasn't high enough or I would have done it. I'm 1 short. So you don't have to pay, Matthew, because you didn't win.
Okay.
So you don't pay. Evan and I paid. Evan takes first.
Pay. He's just gonna
anything.
get the $3. Okay, interesting.
He doesn't pay for in the clash.
Oh, in the clash. Okay.
Yeah. So you pick your choice.
This is the minor.
This is the minor.
I feel like I'm gonna do this,
All right.
which gets me
2 and
6
1.
points, and +1 on this here track, and then I do have a stunning victory,
Oh, nice.
which gives me another 5 points.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
That was the clash.
Yep.
Now the city. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Matthew has 1, 2, 3. Evan, you have 1. So I take the Celestia racket.
There's nothing to do to buff this one, right? It's just straight
No,
up
this
cubes.
one's straight up whatever's left from the other one. Yeah.
Do I get 2 victory points and a track?
Yes. And Evan, you get 3 gold. And everything in this top row will come back to your guild hall, and the rest goes to your reserve. And we're done. Put a new racket. Well, actually, I'll do that one, and the step says to do it. All right, that was the minor. Now the major over here in Durnville.
Durnville. Sounds like a place in Texas.
It does sound like a place in Texas, but apparently it's a place in Thargos.
Come on down, Durnville.
So it's 2 to 3 to 3, right?
For which? For the city?
We're doing the blades first, right?
2, 3, and 3 for the city, but the blades are depending on how many tokens you bid.
I've got 5 blades there if I want them.
Yeah, you do. Not even counting your gold.
Yeah.
Or your cards. So. In the physical game, this rather complex clash planner is actually just going to be a dial where you dial the blades and you put your golden cards behind it and then you show it. So hopefully much cleaner.
What was the thing that you said you could trash a card? Which is it, the subterfuge? Which cards? Oh, I see. I'll use 3 coins.
Yep.
Okay.
I can't do that.
All right, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't bid anything.
Yes.
Ooh, fun. Ties go to the Darkun side, which is Evan. Evan wins.
Bang.
But do I have the option of trashing a card right now, or no? That's
You
passed,
got
right?
You got to pay the 4 gold and a cube.
I could do that.
Well, you have to do it.
Do my math right.
Okay. So what do I have to pay? The gold and
4 gold and a cube, but the cube is going to come off of here.
All right, so that goes back in my reserve.
Correct.
And then
4
1,
gold.
2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm down to 2.
And you paid your bid of 4.
Right.
Yep. Evan's got to pay his bid.
I totally did my math wrong, but what are you gonna do? Because there's the 4, and then I have an extra 1.
Yeah, you didn't need to spend the 1.
But what I'm saying is, if I spent the bid's already locked in, right? There's nothing to do after the bid.
That's correct.
Okay.
The goal with the planner is your bid and how you pay for it are locked, decided in advance.
Durnville.
And the reason I do that is because if I let you decide afterwards, it really drags the game out. It's been my experience. So you got to decide it as one blow. So.
Durnville. Obviously, 8 points.
And you guys got some nice reward out of that.
So what was my take out of it?
3 victor points, 3 gold. Evan, you got your payout.
I did, yeah.
All righty.
Oh, yeah.
Put a cube on there, Evan. Oh, I should have put a cube up here because I took the racket. All right, so Matthew and I tie at 2. It is on the Darkun side, so I win the tie and Matthew takes second. So I get the racket.
Seems to be my role in this game.
Yeah, you you're losing on ties. It's pretty rough. You get 2 victory points in the card. And Evan, you just got gold out.
Which
got my 3
card?
bucks,
Either
yeah.
one?
Either one.
Guess I could. Cool.
When is the agent phase?
That's the second phase of the round.
Okay.
We're getting ready to go into the 3rd round. This token goes into your reserve. And so now the cleanup, yeah, that gets passed. Matthew, you get to lock 2 cities. You cannot lock Tyra, but you can lock Durnville, Hemor, or Celestia. Yep. So Tyra and Celestia are in play. Celestia gets a level 2 racket. Tyra has a racket. Durnville gets a 2 racket. And we're done with rackets. Update the market. Replace the faction cards. Pass first player. We did that. So we're in the 3rd round now.
We gain money? Or not yet?
You might want to draw some cards.
Yep.
I'm just waiting.
Make sure to collect your income.
See, that's what I said. And that's just 1 cube per on a city, right?
Yep. 1,
So
2,
I got 5.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. Matthew, the seconds are starting to hurt you.
It's been the whole game for me.
Yeah, it has been.
I even spent as much gold as I could muster that last one, and it wasn't enough.
I think you got lucky. Reset your rackets. Don't forget to do that.
Oh, I go first.
You do. Buy cubes if you want them.
Do want them.
If you want them.
Go like that. And, Tyra or Celestia?
Yep.
Okay. I think.
I will come to Celestia.
What's the name of the phase we're in right now?
This is the guild phase. And it's your turn.
So if we're in the guild phase, when is the recruitment?
You mean when can you buy cards out of the market? Or when can you get tokens out of the bag? Which
I'm trying to
thing?
match my subterfuge cards to the phases so I know when they can be legally played.
If it doesn't say it's anytime you want, if it has this little combat icon, that means only in combat.
Mm-hmm.
If it has that little person icon, that means when you play a card as an agent, which would be now,
Okay.
you can use that.
Those are the only two?
There's only two. There are some that say on your recruit turn. So that's
Mhm.
very specific when you buy from the market. And if it doesn't say, it's whenever you,
The recruit turn is when you do your passing turn. Kind of.
your recruit turns when you flop and buy.
Mhm. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called a reveal turn in Dune Imperium for those of you who wish to make that comparison.
No one's over here in Tyra, huh?
Yeah, it's sitting there wide open.
Well, someone will come and tie it with me and break it anyway.
Yeah, you should be able to enforce your will on us with all those tokens, but you
Uh-huh.
might have to give up buying things you want to do it.
Let's see what this does. Puts a green one here.
Oh. Very, very fancy. I'm gonna go with this.
Oh, you're serious, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Of course.
I will do this.
Wow.
Back to me.
Yep.
Okay.
Sneaky, sneaky. Whoop.
Back to you, Matthew.
Mm-hmm. There's a 7 in the market. My
Oh my.
Boris bronze helmet.
Yep.
Oh my.
If you want some combat power, got to get up
Gain
the track.
5.
Yep.
Gain 5. Wow.
Note you got to be up to this spot on the track to be able to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how do you know that? Oh, I see. Down
Yeah.
there.
I mean, these big cards are also valuable because they just, 3 skill ranks or there's some where
Sure.
4 skill ranks. You can just get a lot of tokens down with one card.
Right. So you don't necessarily have to be up there to use them.
No, you can buy the card just to use it for its agent ability,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to slap tokens down, and it's not a
Yeah.
bad strategy. I bought this card primarily for its ability to put tokens down, not for its
Yeah.
recruit. So
Let me try it out.
because right now Matthew's kind of in the bind where these little ones are useless for him.
Yeah.
Because he's got so many he needs the bigger cards to be putting more tokens down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
nice. And you can put those somewhere else if you wish. You don't have to. Nice. Good
If
play.
I had a special ability that let me discard one of these guys, would I then not be able to activate 2 abilities?
That's correct. If you have the trash the card,
Yeah.
you lose the card and then you don't get to use it for agent power.
Right.
That subterfuge card that trashes
Yeah,
is a
yeah, yeah.
little weaker than doing it
Yes.
other ways.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna say. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
And
gained 2
that's by
coins.
design. Otherwise, it's just really nice to get trash cards early. It's too powerful.
I gained 2 coins from this sucker.
1, 2, yeah, 3.
Oh, I have 3?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I gained 3 coins. And then I can trash a card. But if I do that, can I do that, Rich? Can I use this ability to trash one now?
Yes. So
Okay.
so if you use the subterfuge card, it's got to be played when you put it down. But when you do your recruit, you can do these things in any order. So
Okay,
like
so
you
now I
can
can.
spend the points and then trash the card. You can
Okay,
use
okay,
it for
okay.
agent power, then
So now I
trash
can
the
do
card.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
And this is not an agent turn. This is a recruit turn.
Correct.
And I've got 3 buckaroonies. Oh wait, I should probably look and see what the heck I've got going on.
Pay your gold, make it 6 right here,
I was
Evan.
thinking about that.
I would.
All right, what do I got over here? Yeah, I should probably do that. That seems good. So I'll pay $4.
I mean, you got the money.
So now I've got a recruit of 6. And I will buy.
You can always buy influence with it if you don't want to spend it in the market, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
forgot
forgot
about
about that. I'm gonna buy.
3 to 1, huh?
Depends on where you are. Here it's 2 for 1.
buy
Here in
this
this band
one.
it's 3 for 1, and up there it's 4 for 1.
And
Yeah, that's what I expected. That's a nice buy.
Cobra is gonna go on top.
Yeah. So those don't go to your hand though.
I know.
All right.
Just like every other time.
Yeah, the Cobra went on top of your deck
I
because
know.
he was promoted. Oh, okay. I will stop explaining. Ooh, another 7.
There we go. Cool.
And are you done, Evan?
That was
Is that
it.
everything? Okay.
That was it.
So, all right, here's my flop. I have a 4 buy. You bought the card I wanted.
Yeah.
You know that.
I figured as much.
I am going to play this subterfuge card. This subterfuge card is called Preparation. It lets me use an agent also for its recruit ability.
Oh, cheating.
So I'm going to get the recruit ability of this guy, not just the agent ability. And so that gets me 1 more buy power. So it gets me to a 5 buy power.
But you only get to choose.
No, I get both. I played him as an agent, but I also get his recruit ability. That's.
I guess I mean between these 2, you're only going to be able to choose 1.
I have 4 ability. 1.
Oh, I didn't
2,
see the one at the
3,
bottom.
4. Yeah.
I didn't see that. Yet.
I played him as an agent, so
Yeah,
he triggers his own recruit ability.
Yeah.
And then I get the 1 purchase power. So
Cool.
I get everything out of it.
Yeah.
But I had to spend a card to get it. So
yeah.
So I got a 5 buy. I will buy the Guild Runner and the Mercenary.
Oh, they both go on top.
Both go on top.
Oh, I could have.
I get a card.
I didn't see that this guy only costs. Oh, I only need 1 influence to do that.
I get an influence.
So I could have thinned my ranks. I'm gonna thin my ranks.
Yeah, do that. I get an influence. I get to trash a card. Yeah, I'm gonna trash this guy. And then I'm gonna use this ability to trash another card, get a victory point. And I can pay 3 gold to get a card. I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna use my Kamar thing to get 2 coins.
And I'm done.
Oh yeah, back to me. I still have cards in my hand. So I'm gonna play these guys for their bottom abilities. I got 4 influence to spend and a trash action. And I get to trash. Does it have to be one that's out, or can it be? I guess it has to be one that's out, right?
You can't trash out of your deck, right?
Can or cannot?
Cannot.
Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't think so.
Yeah, no, you have to trash something that's in play.
So I can trash this.
Yep.
And still use its influence, right?
Yep.
It's not an order of
Yeah.
operations. Okay.
You do it in whatever order works for you.
No, I'm gonna get rid of this sneak. Seems to be the less powerful play. And let's see what I do with my 4 money. Ooh, that's got 2 and a variable. Infiltrator. Gain a money for each rank of your agents in play. How do you determine the rank of your agents in play? For this card? I can't hear you if you're there.
He's gone. Or is he actually frozen? He
Hello?
might have been frozen.
Oh, there you are.
He is. He's back.
Yeah, Zoom restarted on me for some reason.
Oh, all right.
I was just asking about the bottom text on this card. It says gain 1 coin for each rank of your agents.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we got
Oh, no.
disconnected.
You lose me again?
No, we got disconnected from your.
Oh, geez.
Your
I must be
TTS.
having. Oh, I hope that may suck. That may really, really suck.
I mean, I'm into the game, but on the plus side, we've played long enough where we could probably give some feedback if we can't.
Yeah, let's see where see what it.
I'm gonna close my windows. I'll come right back.
You guys join back in. It doesn't look like it's too bad. We can decide. It looks like it saved after my turn.
Okay.
And then it's to Matthew, so we didn't lose too much. Probably my internet. I suspect my internet glitched is what happened.
Is it Kumor?
I'm sorry. What's the question?
How do you spell Kumor?
Kurnor.
Kurnor. Evan, you might want to check that everything you did actually happened.
It looks like I still have that guy.
You played a card to trash a card. Did that?
I should still have this guy.
Yep.
All right, and then I just need to buy. I'm gonna try this move where I go up twice on the track. Hi, that's me. And you guys get a cube because I took an extra turn, right? Or no?
It ends at Evan.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So this is the major. This is the minor.
Yeah. Minor first.
Minor first.
That's a toughie.
So I know I've asked before, we spend money according to the swords, but we
Correct.
also have the ability to spend a cube as well, right?
Correct. It is basically you make your bid, and anything you don't pay with money or with like subterfuge cards, you must pay with cubes. And
is there a ratio of cube to?
No.
It's the slot it's in. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's the slot it's in is what it's worth. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're 3 short, you got to come up with 3 blades out of tokens.
And then how much money? How much does this go up to?
How much money?
The numbers there correspond directly to this.
I got it.
Yep. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
I could have bid better. Ah,
Bam a lamb.
yeah, you guys cheaped out. I should have bid.
So I spent $2.
You guys had a lot of money. I just figured you'd outbid me. So I should have bid.
So then we get the one of these two things.
Yep.
I'm gonna go. Oh, it's the minor.
Yep.
Let's go this one. That'll give me 6 points and a bump.
And Matthew, you get second place, 2 points and a bump. And Evan, you can put a token on there.
Yeah.
Your money lender just got even more valuable.
Yeah.
The my cube came from the top, so I get it back to my
Correct. And now we do the city, and I end up at third. It looks like Evan beats me on the tie. So Matt, you take first. You got a racket. Evan, you get second.
And that's just draw a card.
It's draw a card. So you draw a card from your deck to your hand. Yep. So you'll get 6 cards this time.
And a point.
And a point.
Cool. Comes back home. Cool.
And Matthew, you put a cube in there for the racket you took, which will get you more income this next round. And we're done. That was the minor. Now we're on the major, where I actually came to play.
I believe that's correct. Everybody ready?
I'm ready. Yep.
Ready. Whoa.
Yep. I paid 2, and then I paid 2 cubes. That's these guys right here. Weapons cubes. So there's my 6.
All right, so I'm at a 4 because I paid with gold.
Yep.
And I don't have to pay anything, right?
Yeah, if you don't take third, first or second, you don't even pay. Technically, you don't even have to show your bid. You just would show your bid, but you don't even show how you were going to pay for it. Okay. Like you wouldn't have to show cards and stuff. So, and Matthew, you get 3 points and 3 gold, 3 victory points and 3 gold.
Okay.
And now it is the city. Looks like Matthew takes first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Evan takes second at 5. And I'll take my 3 gold.
So I get +1 thingy and 2 points.
Yep, you guys are getting the hang of this. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to promote you. Because instead of picking up the stupid cubes and putting them back in the bag, you can just delete them. It's just so much easier. I've play tested the physical version of this. It's really not that hard to move the cubes around, but it's such a pain in TTS.
Yeah.
Evan, you get to place the flags. Your choices are Hamor, Tyra, and Durnville. One of the flags goes.
Did Tyra?
Yeah, it's based on the number of times it's resolved. So Celestia gets 1 because it's happened twice automatically, and the other each have 1. So you pick 2 out of 3. This gets a level 3 racket. Tyra gets a level 2 racket.
Let's do will not be bidding on. Well, we know we're not bidding on Kurnor. We will not be bidding on Tyra. Right? And then we know we're not doing Kurnor.
Yeah, Kurnor should have a flag on it automatically. Maybe I accidentally pulled one off. You should only had one flag to place. That's correct. My bad. And you did Tyra, so we have Durnville and Hamor. So that's 3 out of 7 rounds.
Yep.
You guys want to run another round? We're running 20 to 25 minutes a round.
Yeah, what do you think, Matthew?
And it's speeding up a little bit because folks are getting the hang of it.
I'm good either way.
You want another round?
Yeah, let's do one more.
One more? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's up to you guys.
You just wanted to go first twice. I see how it is.
No. I actually look. It's 1:30 in the morning for me. I really don't mind if we go to feedback, but I'm always happy to play. So if you guys want to keep going,
yeah,
it's
let's just do final scoring and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to just score it and end it?
Yep.
All right. So scoring will be. We just go through the cities. The assumption here would they all closed up, right? So here, I will score 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a token there. There's 2. It's twice, right? Each one's 2, so that's 4 points. You guys see that?
This cube scores you both of these.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And at a level 2. So. And then Matthew also scores 4 points for his cube there. And we've done that one.
Cool.
Evan, you score 2 points for this one.
Would I move my thing up 4?
Yeah, you got 4.
Yep.
Yep. In Kurnor, I score 4 because I have 2 cubes. Each one's worth 2. Evan, you score 1.
Yeah.
And Matthew, you score 2. In Tyra, Matthew scores 2. And in Durnville, I score 1. You get 1 point for every cube in your guild hall.
Oh,
so I get 2. And then you get points if you pulled off your guild master. I did not. I don't have the most cubes. Matthew does, so I don't get the 7.
I do not have the most gold.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the game ending early,
it's
no surprise.
So, where's the
right here?
You know, I haven't even been looking at it. Oh, let's see. Most cubes in that tiny little icon that we were talking about earlier.
Most cubes in here. So you got 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I beat you.
Yep.
So you did. None of us got our guild master.
Okay.
All right. So obviously, the best.
Scores are very low, by the way, just because, you know, if the game run 4 more rounds, people would have been a lot further up. All of these things would have had 3 of them in them, and plus the big score at the end. So the score typically hits 100 or a little over. So, all right.
Awesome. Well, let's go to feedback. Matthew, do it to it.
This is my turn that we didn't get to see.
What?
Were you dumping cubes like crazy? Yeah.
Well, I didn't even look at my cards.
You finally got the power to do something. So.
Oh, look, I'm doing all kinds of crazy things.
And this is where the deck building starts to pay out. You get the cubes and you get the cards to get them down.
So you want me to start?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, sure. Well, thanks for showing us the game. That was fun. Dune Imperium is in my probably top 5 games.
Yeah.
Favorite, yeah. I like the worker placement also. It's a really good synergy in that game. So, and I do love, it's one of my favorite mechanics is worker placement. So that has a special place for me. But this had definitely the feel a little bit of a feel of it. And the thing that was hardest for me to understand, I don't know if there's a play rate I was missing or if it's just 1:30 in the morning, but is the how to really go into the bid knowing if I should hold it or if I should fold it.
Right.
Because it took me a while, but I think I understand it right now. So the cubes are the cubes, and if you have the most cubes in there, you won. Plain and simple. Okay. But then it's the swords, and the swords are evaluating cubes that you have in the slot that they're in, plus the bid you come in with, and the bid you come in with may eat some of your cubes if you don't pay
Right.
enough money. But if you
Correct.
pay enough money, then that's it. You just come in with the swords, and then you can buff that also with the subterfuge cards,
Yeah, and also some of the like don't know what happened to him.
like those
This guy.
sevens.
Yeah, the big guys. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's correct. So
Okay.
so the bid is for this, which is generally lower scoring than winning the city is going to be in the
Mm-hmm.
long run, but it gets you up the track mostly. It's one of the best ways to get up the track, and it gets you some victory points. So it's not as powerful as winning the city, but it's early, and it kind of it hopefully drives like how a city's going to score for you if you're winning the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that. I know this is probably one of the most challenging parts, and I also feel like the way this clash planner I have it here is maybe not the best way to do it. TTS is just hard. This would just be so much easier if it's just a dial. You put the money, you put the cards on it. Although I feel like maybe the gap for you was understanding that the rest of your bid has to come out of cubes.
You
On the
could
city.
script it and make it really easy to, just have a number and I come in and I look at the number, but that's just TTS luxury. You wouldn't have that in real life.
Yeah.
Yep. Uh, I'm not just in general. Worker placement is one of my favorite. Deck building, I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
Some people they love deck building. It's funny because I've actually made a deck builder. I made a 1-card deck builder.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, it doubles as my business card too.
Oh,
But
there you go.
but it really is a deck builder with 1 card. But so I mean, I appreciate the deck building. I appreciate the discarding of the cards to make my deck more efficient. And like you said, with 14 rounds, I'm gonna see a card from the beginning of the game, maybe 5 times if I'm lucky,
Yeah,
and
that sounds about right. If you're
maybe
lucky.
3 times if I'm not. And I mean, just the whole delayed gratification for that, and I didn't have a lot of control over how I pull them out, and that's inherent with the deck builder.
Yep.
It's not a critique. It's just I'm telling you
It's
how
just
I read the game. Yeah.
it's deck builders, and I agree with you. One of the things I have felt a little challenged with is the game used to run more turns, but it was too long. So I'm trying to trim the
Oh yeah.
game down, and then 7 turns is about right. But the problem now is exactly what you said. It's hard to build the deck and use it, right? And Doomed Imperium, you actually get, I think, isn't it? Well, no, it's to 10 victory points, but isn't that guaranteed 10 turns? Because there's
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's a maximum 10 turns. I think it might go
Mm-hmm.
faster. I'm trying to remember the game. But now because it's 7 turns, you're right. You're not getting through cards more than 2 or 3 times the later buys. And it's my expectation after about turn 4, you stop buying off the market and you just start using your renowned bump influence, because
Mm-hmm.
that directly translates into victory points. So.
Yep. And you were kind of mentioning that at the beginning about going all in on the deck building and then not doing as well on the victory point track historically
Yep.
as well. And the deck building is such a focus of the game, but also the scythe scoring. I don't know how else to compare it, but building up on a track and then hitting the victory point based on the multiplier, which
Mm-hmm.
is really big. Kind of like a Stone Age 2 has
Yep.
that kind of effect in it. So, I mean, multiple paths to victory, I suppose. Multiple strategies is always fun to be able to not have to pigeonhole one strategy versus another. So, again, no real comment, just feelings of
I mean,
how it
did
read
you
and how it evaluated.
feel like there were some strategic choices, or was it just still figuring out the game and you couldn't really see them?
Well, I got the card I was dealt from the very beginning is that one I was just about to hit on round 4 here to double down on my card. Is that the one I should have used?
No.
Is that one racket? Oh, I just
That
got
was
that
your
one.
guild master. You're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
yeah.
But this one right here, I'm saying, is the one I
Yeah.
just preparation. I was dealt that.
Mhm.
Was that? No, actually, I picked that up. So yeah, I mean, the strategy, like you said, it's starting to blossom on this turn, whereas up until now, I didn't have much flexibility. I guess the real strategic decision was whether I should go all in on the bid or buy from the market versus buy influence. And I forgot about that, and I probably would have, if I remember that from the beginning, and it's not on you, um, I think I would have ignored the market
Really?
other than like 2 key cards. Yeah, I think I would have just bought 2 cards in the market. I would have tried it out. I'm not saying it's optimal, but
Yeah,
I would have bought,
I've definitely seen it. I've definitely seen people that don't buy a lot from the
I
market.
would have gone 2 cards, I think, from the market. I would have thinned out my deck
Mm-hmm.
down to 8 cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have those cards
Just come
nearly
through. Yeah.
nearly every other turn, if not more than that.
I
And
very bluntly, that's optimal play. It is optimal play to get your hand down to about 7 or 8 cards. The number of times you buy from the market depends on if you're building a strategy out of the cards. But like I said, usually after about the 4th turn, it's not worth it. Even the 3rd turn, sometimes it's not worth it. So
there were a lot of choices in the market. I'm just wondering if maybe the market's a little big for what it is.
it probably is. I probably ought to reduce it. I agree.
But I did like that. I've not seen this before. It's probably a common mechanic, but for me, it's new that when you buy from the market, it goes right to the top of your deck.
The promote.
Yeah, that part I really enjoy because then you can hit it early if you have, it adds a little bit of extra strategy onto it.
There's a similar mechanism in Lost Ruins of Arnak. So
I've played Lost Ruins. I don't remember that part of it.
So some of the
Is
cards
it
you
with the
buy.
expansion?
No, it's in the base game. Some of the cards
Okay.
you buy, it's the items you buy, they shuffle up and go under your deck, kind of like what happens here.
Yeah.
The artifacts you buy,
Mhm.
which you have to spend a different currency to get the artifacts, and they're more powerful. And I think they go to you get the effect of them immediately, which is kind of like putting them on top of your deck. So
yeah,
it's not quite the same, but you do get the effect immediately. This you get the effect the next turn, guaranteed. So so it's not exactly the same, but it was kind of the same philosophy, I guess. So
sure. And the other feeling I was having was from a first time play. Maybe it was luck, maybe it was how the ties shook out. Maybe I was playing suboptimally, but it felt on the end of turn 3, which is why I played the way I did, that if I didn't make a dramatic play for position, the reoccurring revenue that you and Evan were getting at that, I was unsurmountable. Like I was already ready to throw in the towel, so to speak. I'll play it to the bitter end, but I was ready to say, I see the end is nigh, and that I'm not going to be able
a
to.
concern about a runaway effect from winning the cubes up there and getting the gold. I absolutely agree with that.
It felt really good that I had what was that one turn when you guys kept saying how much gold I had? I think I had 8 gold, and then I didn't end up winning much with it.
No.
And then but I had 5 gold, so at least I carried most of it over, right? I only ended up spending 3 of it. Well, then you and Evan got 6 gold reoccurring. Like it just negated whatever that feeling was. It's like, oh boy.
Yep. Although you would have been doing better this round. I mean, you won 2 rackets.
That's why I basically said this is my time or I'm out of the game. I gotta jump on this reoccurring revenue wagon here.
Well, this turn you had more. I mean, this is my thought is is this is driven by your cubes, right? So the guys who are winning, and this happened for Evan and I, we didn't have a lot of cubes available. We each had 4 in those rounds, and you had well over 4. But the first time around, you actually decided to take your buy and left a lot of cubes not not to the board. So I felt like that was a choice. This time you went and did it. I mean, you played a card and whacked away there and picked up
Yep.
that one as
Yep.
well. So
I'll say too for
yeah,
Evan's
I
play.
am worried about the runaway effect, though. I'll agree with you.
So and then about Evan, it's funny because having all those cubes makes me feel like, oh, I'm in a good position to get what I set out to get. But then I don't know what Evan was doing, and I'm saying it was legal. He just kept getting those subterfuge cards, and man, they were scary because you didn't know what he was going to pull out of that deck, and suddenly he's got a whole bunch. Yeah, that one was really powerful, I thought, because he was able to make up for in resources with those cards alone.
Yep.
And some of them were giving him little hits that would almost get him half of another subterfuge card back again, right? He'd spend one and it would do a thing, but that thing would get him almost half of another position to get another one back. Yeah, it was like, dang.
I mean for these to be powerful, but maybe they're a little overpowered.
So I'd say that one really felt, at first read, it didn't feel as, I didn't know how niche the deck was, but there's some really good, effects in there. So that one really felt powerful after having played through it a bit. Yeah.
I want them to be powerful, but maybe they need to be a little more situational. I don't know. So,
was there any specific things that were new or feedback you're looking for?
There are several things are new. One of the things that is new is putting the cube on these cards versus that. And I did that in response to a comment that winning the clashes didn't seem as useful as winning the rackets because that's recurring gold and this is not. So I throw a cube on it and get gold. But now I'm worried about it's too much of a runaway effect. So I think you kind of answered that, which is you feel like there's a runaway effect. I do too. I mean, I felt like the turn we each got 5 gold or 6 gold was too much.
You've got the scaling diminishing returns on everything else. I mean, if you wanted, you could add to that where you take the number of cubes in both places, add them together, and then it's diminishing returns as you scale up so that it rubber bands them when they get out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm inclined to just take this out. I mean, this is actually first playtest with this effect where the cube goes on there and earns you gold. And I'm actually inclined to take it out. I did that because in previous playtests, it's like, oh, these aren't as valuable. But I'm not sure about that. I think these are pretty valuable. They get you up the track, almost consistently get you up the track. And they score pretty decent victory points. So maybe I just tweak these cards a little bit, make them a little bit more worthwhile and get rid of the gold from it. So it's a one-time upfront bonus. And then the win in the city gets you the steady gold. That would reduce a bit, I think.
And I'm curious, what's your power play? You're the designer and you're in last place presently, but we called it early. But was there an engine that is going to suddenly hit?
Yeah, I think I built a good engine. I should have done it this last turn and I didn't. I think I might have made a mistake. But what I should have done was trashed my Shadow Guildmaster and brought out my Guildmaster. Because most of my starting deck, I cannot pick those up separately. Most of my starting deck is gone. I have these cards out of my starting deck. And even if that's an issue, I can trash one a turn with this thing and I can trash when this one comes up. Although I did buy this card more just for getting the agent to be able to get cubes down. So my deck was about to get really tight. It was about to get down to about 7 cards. I would have stopped buying from the market. If I bought, it would have been one of these big guys. That would have been it. Just so I could keep him coming through every turn.
Sure. So I'm looking at the racket card. You have trash a card and gain a victory point. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the first place on Kurnor, that first card.
Got it. So I'm looking at the one I managed to get pay for to do the exact same thing and not get a victory point.
Note that I gave up this for that. So I gave up 2 gold to get this. Right, yours
Yep.
went in a different slot. But this is not meant to be as good as this. I mean, Kurnor, that first one in Kurnor, this is the first one in Different Town. This is meant to be better because I'm trying to gear up that initial fight there.
Sure.
But maybe this should be 3. Maybe that should not be the victory point. I don't know.
Yep. One graphic design thing on your tracks, you could literally have a first, second, third, you
Good
could literally,
idea. I like it.
then there's,
that's Yep.
But yeah,
that is one of the things that's on the UI that's kind of vexed me, is I really don't feel this is intuitive in the tiebreaker. I like it as a tiebreaker, but I don't think it's as obvious how it works.
Yeah, same.
And so that's a good UI suggestion. I like that.
That was the last of my notes. Appreciate it, though.
All right. Thank you for the feedback.
Okay. You have some limiters that I don't know if I understand why they exist, or if they're just there for theoretical issues that never.
They're probably there for theoretical issues. Is one of my bad habits as a designer is I tend to foresee a problem and then overcomplicate trying to fix it before it's proven itself to be a problem. So,
for example,
fire away.
Max buys up to 4.
Where's that?
Maximum buys in a turn for cards recruiting.
No, I
said up to 4.
Did I say that?
I thought so.
No, I think that was misunderstanding.
Okay.
The example I used was you spend 4 and you can buy as many cards as you want. But it's what you spend. You can buy as many cards out of the market as you want.
Great. I love that.
Yeah. Strategically, I don't think it's very wise, but you can do it.
Okay. I thought you had a max on how many you could buy.
No. You buy as many as you want.
Okay, great.
The market doesn't refresh, so you got to buy from what?
Yeah, exactly. So. Agents ability restricted by the. I think your game has a lot of cool stuff going on, and you have just a few too many extra little checks and balances.
All right.
In my opinion, checking this ability down here based on how many of these things you put out is one step too far.
All right. And you're not the first person to give me this feedback. And actually, I was going to ask this specific question.
Yeah.
Would you guys been fine with this if I got rid of that's agent power, where you play them as agents and use them to trigger those abilities?
Yeah,
I could revamp that to remove it completely, and you'd have things like this that are combo requirements. I might replace some of these with gold, where you spend money to get it.
Yeah.
But I could get rid of the agent power, because that is definitely a level of complexity where you got to decide up front how you play your cards. I don't think you need
it, and I think it's more frustrating than interesting.
Okay. That's fair feedback, and you're not the first person to give me that feedback. The reason I don't want to lose it, the reason I'm attached to it, is I do think it's a unique mechanism. I don't think I've seen it in another game.
It is.
But maybe what I ought to do is take it out of this game.
Cool. It feels restrictive.
Yeah. Maybe I ought to take it out of this game and go build a game around the concept.
Right.
Yep.
Because there's too much other stuff going on.
Too much other stuff going on in this one. I agree with that. So
let's see. 3B. You figure out the major, then you figure out the minor, then you resolve the minor, then you resolve the major. It just
like that.
It feels clunky. You're like snake drafting your major and minor.
Yeah, I mean, I could switch it around. I don't actually know that it matters.
I don't think it does. It just feels weird. Like my brain was like, wait, we figure out the major one, then we figure out the minor one, then we resolve.
It may not be worth it. The reason I'd done it is because you win the minor and you get some resources out of it that you might use in the major.
I mean, I think it's totally fine to go minor major, but don't go major minor minor major.
Well,
I mean,
you're talking about the placement. The placement. So
I get why. I get it. It's just
would this
be weird?
Would this make more sense if I said you place the minor, then you place the major, you resolve the minor, you resolve the major? I mean, the only reason I did it that way is because it's most cubes and second most, and it's
No,
kind of
I
easier
know.
to
Yeah,
figure out
that's I
which is the
get that.
most.
I get that.
I'll switch the resolution. It'll just go place the major, place the minor, resolve the major, resolve the minor. I think that's fine.
Do you find it more
I don't think
interesting to resolve the minor first?
the only reason I did it, like I said, is because in the minor you can get some resources, and
Mhm.
those resources can change up how the major works, and it's kind of the
Maybe
bigger thing.
that is more interesting.
That's why I did it that way.
Yeah,
So
but I don't know. It's
I don't
probably
know it
just a,
adds much.
it's
So
probably just a stupid thing that doesn't actually matter on my end anyway.
the truth is I need to trim rules and clean things up wherever I can. And that's just such a little thing that it's not a big deal. I mean, it could have an impact, but if I switch it around,
minor
you'll
major
play it the other way.
feels more like it is interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I don't know, agree with myself. It's just weird.
I'll think about it.
Combat. 1 subterfuge card and 1 gold amount.
Yep.
What were you seeing happen with the multiple subterfuge cards being used?
This rule is in place more from the perspective of what the game's going to be when it's a physical game.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you a little bit of backstory on this. The backstory on this is up until recently, combat has not included any of these planner details. It's just been the dial, and you dial it, and then the winner pays, and they can pay with gold, they can pay with cards, they can pay with cubes. They decide how they pay, and then second place pays. The problem with that is that's a big decision chain, right? So, and it's a decision chain that has impact. So how the first place player pays can change how the second place player plays because the cubes remaining are going to be on the city.
Correct. Yeah.
And it was slow. It's very slow. So I took the approach of why don't I just make the bid and the payment for it combined all at once. You decide it up front, and that way when you show it, the resolution, how it plays out, you just pay, you collect your rewards, you're done. And it's definitely faster.
Yeah.
But because of that, this can be a physical game with a dial, and I don't want you to shuffle a bunch of cards and a bunch of golden stuff behind the dial. So I'm thinking 1 card, subterfuge card, 1 guild card, and some gold. So that's how I landed on that.
Okay.
Yep.
Another thing that probably isn't a big deal, but just feels weird, is that the combat only has first and second, and the town has first, second, and third.
Mm-hmm.
It just like feels dissonant, you know, like for like smooth gameplay recognition stuff. It's just like wait. So I can't get third place on the combat. That's right.
Okay, so you want consistency.
Yes, just like I don't care if it's 2 and 2 or 3 and 3. I just want it to be the same.
Yep.
First, second, third, or first and second. Either way is fine.
Makes sense. I might get rid of it here. I might add it there. The thing about adding it here is getting some small payout, like a couple gold, is actually a lot of times worse than just not paying. Right. Not paying is better because you keep cubes on the map for the city resolution. You keep your gold, you keep your cards. It's better to not pay. So that's kind of why I don't want to put a third in the clash.
Makes sense.
So maybe I take the third out of the cities, but then it may suck if it's a big fight, you get nothing out of third. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll think about that.
Yep. Maybe, maybe you can console them in other ways.
Yeah, that's what I would need to do. I need to come some kind of
if you didn't end up using this cube.
Maybe get your cubes
back or whatever.
Get your cubes back. Yeah, that's a possibility.
But okay. Kurnor.
Get gold for your cubes. I don't know.
Sure, something.
Yeah,
that could be. Everybody else gets gold for their cubes.
Yeah, everybody else just gets gold for their cubes. Yeah. So
something. I don't know. Who knows? Depending on your gold, market. how
Yeah,
much that blows it out or doesn't blow it out.
the gold's a little overdone right now. I need to up the cost of things or eliminate some of the gold income.
Your Shadow Guildmaster, I think, is another unnecessary complexity.
Okay.
I don't think you need it. I get what you're doing where you have this tension of like, when do I stop my deck thinning?
And when do I reveal what
when do
my
I
kind of hidden
reveal?
goal? Yeah.
I would just allow you to thin your deck another way and just get rid of that weird thing and say you can reveal your Guildmaster whenever the heck you want.
You just put it in your hand whenever you're ready.
You just reveal it, put it on top of your deck. You know.
Okay.
Maybe there's a cool reveal ability. I don't know.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, the way this is done, it pretty much guarantees that it comes up every time.
Right. It's just, it's awkward and extra.
Yep.
And it doesn't work like anything else in the game.
Nope.
And has a bunch of rules around it. You know, I mean, not a bunch, but enough.
It's got its own rules. That is correct. Yeah.
So in my head, you just don't need it.
It's a fair point. This is also a recent addition. More because I liked the hidden Guildmaster and having that come out, which I want to keep.
I like a hidden Guildmaster.
But I was also kind of dealing with you do need to thin your deck in this game.
I think
and
there's better
where that
ways.
trash a long time ago, some number of iterations ago, I had just a standard action you could take where you could just spend gold to trash a card.
Right.
Maybe I'll put that back.
Something like that. You know, put it, it's, you know, kind of like this, or maybe it's just.
Yep. I might go back to that.
Or maybe it's on the biro somewhere, you know, whatever. I don't know.
I can make it a little racket that you always get or something.
Yeah. What I wrote down, if you did it by gold, it would be 2 gold to trash 1, 5 to trash 2, and 9 to trash 3. That's what I wrote down.
All right.
So not all cities are always available. I like that there's only 2 at a time. I think your blocking system is clunky. And what I would recommend is getting rid of the blockers and just using the major and minor tokens.
Just assign them?
Just assign them, right? And you know that the town that has more doodle bobs, you know that the first and last round, this has to be the major, right? That's easy.
Yep.
And you know,
I mean, I could come up with a scheme for assigning them based on how many things are out, and I can always just default to whoever the active first player is decides.
Right. And I think that's
it's a good thought.
A lot cleaner that way.
All right, let me run something past you on this count. This is also, by the way, a recent addition. I think we're maybe about 3rd or 4th playtest of this. And the feedback I've got is that because it used to be you could go anywhere and then people could spread out. And the feedback I've got,
I like the major minor.
Yeah, that's the feedback I got, is constraining where people go is good. You know, it kind of encourages the conflict and stuff. However, the way I've been playing this is in a 4-player game, there would only be 2 of these active, not 3. And there would be 3 towns available, but only 2 of them are going to resolve. Because there's 4 players, we're going to spread out, but one of those towns you're just getting the jump on for the next turn.
And in you can have another marker that says
you're
coming or whatever.
All right, so your point is use these markers for this purpose and get rid of the flags.
You kind of have like a weird double resolution system, and then you have to count and assign the major and the minor.
Yep, very good.
Yeah, I would just say this is the major town.
That's an excellent, simple way to streamline things without really changing the nature of the game.
Yeah, and then it does give people more information as far as where they're playing their people to, because they already know.
I don't think that's a problem.
But I think that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
Okay, where am I? Who am I? There we go.
You know, I'm going to blame you, and Chris asked me why this game isn't ready to go.
I know. Right?
I'm just saying. Evan changed it all up. He said all these things I need to do, and he's right.
Another scheme is, you can have it on your map where this is number 1 and these 2 are number 2 and these are number 3. But to me, that's less interesting.
Well, let me ask you this. How did you guys feel about the racket goes to the corresponding town? For me, this is kind of thematic.
What racket?
When you win a racket, it goes to the corresponding
Oh,
city.
Well, let's let Matthew answer and then I'll answer.
It didn't really play in too much to my strategy.
It didn't matter to you?
No,
I mean,
at
because
the end
I
game it would have.
could get rid of this player board. You could literally just have rackets, and when you win a racket, you just collect it, and then you wouldn't have to even choose. If you get 2 in the same place, you just get them both and use them both. And this becomes actually just a space where you dump rackets and use them.
Yeah, it wasn't a layer of complexity that I was
Okay. Yeah.
appreciating the value of it.
I've thought about removing the actual having these go to a location and just make it just a tableau. You put them down.
I would do that unless you actually make this map more integrated into the gameplay. And
what I would need to do, I feel, if I'm going to do that, is put the cities on the corresponding map as a big board so that it matches.
I think that's visually and like engagement in time and place. I think it's more interesting to have one large map where these cities are.
Yep.
Yeah, with maybe it's actually a game board or whatever.
Yeah, I actually had at one point a map as the background, and I had them all. I kind of broke this up as kind of a way to make it a little more modular.
I understand that.
But let me ask you this. So thematically, having a map and having the cities on a map, I think works really well. But mechanically, I still don't really need to do this. I mean, mechanically, I can still just make this a space where you drop.
Correct.
You drop your rackets. It's just a tableau, and you just collect them and use them.
Yeah,
so.
you're not currently not that you couldn't, but currently the game mechanistic value of having that as a player map is not enough.
Not doing much. Yep, I agree.
Yep.
And making this go ahead, Matthew.
I was just going to say, you mentioned drawing inspiration from Lost Ruins of Arnak. When you take the no, I forget the name of the little square tile that you win, placing it on your mat could unlock a bonus. So I could be looking at a one-time discard and a one-time 3 gold.
Oh, I like that.
And then and now I'm salivating which of these bonuses, because I've already worked it into my strategy, where I'm going to place it. That could be justification for keeping it.
Well, but then I still wouldn't be a map. It would just be some one-time bonuses, and when you get a racket, you get to pick something. And I like that. That's an interesting thought.
That's more interesting.
Removing it from the city does a couple things. One, it gets rid of this, you can only have one in a town. Now it doesn't matter. They're all the same. And that can actually be restrictive at certain points in the game. If you've won a racket in a town, you kind of don't want to go there again because you don't want to have to choose.
Right.
And also, if you're telling me how to get rid of the Shadow Guildmaster, what I'll do is just make a starting racket that lets you trash cards.
Love it.
As the solution. So.
Yep, $2 to trash a card or whatever.
Yep.
$3.
Exactly.
I don't know who knows.
Probably 4, but yeah.
4, sure.
Don't want it to be too cheap.
Come on, give me 3. Give me 3. My next one is I don't want to have to replace a racket.
You don't want to lose the racket, so that solves that too. So I've already been thinking this direction. So you guys are going to drive it there.
Revenue. I am interested in the win more scenario with winning those things, and then having more revenue to win more things. I am wondering about I definitely agree that these cubes are more confusing than helpful.
Yep.
Because when we were scoring, I kept being like, wait, why are you scoring my card? Right, because my cube is on it.
What if I lose income in its current form entirely? So there's no income from cubes on the cities. And instead, there's just rackets. I mean, because there's already some you can win that gets
Yeah.
you income. And in addition, you start with one. So it's not like you don't have some form of income. Because I also, gold's a little bit high right now.
Yeah.
And there are cards in here that can generate a lot of
Yeah.
gold, but who cares now because you don't have a
Yeah.
gold problem.
I
So I
would
may just lose it completely.
I would, if you can, I would much rather
I
you
can.
rebalance the economy a little bit and drop the income
Yep, I can drop income.
because it gets rid of a whole thing.
Yeah, I'll have to rebalance the economy, but I always have to do that every time I make a change, so that's fine.
You know,
Yeah, it gets rid of an entire step.
yeah.
It
Where
gets rid
I
of
had
like
it
counting
going,
and tracking. Yeah.
where I had it going was these tracks, but
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think you need it. I think
I
you're
don't
right.
think I need it. I don't
I
think
don't
I
think you
want
need
it.
it.
I think I just build it into the rackets. That's a function that's already happening. And keep it there. And I can easily like reduce the cost of things if gold's a problem. So
Yeah, exactly.
yep.
Or add more gold.
Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah,
I've been trending that
yeah,
way anyhow. So
yeah.
um,
Um,
and I can lose these. Actually, another thing to do is I can lose these, and you just literally score victory points off your rackets.
mhm.
No, I got to
Mhm.
keep these because where you won the racket matters for
Matters.
scoring.
It does matter. Yep.
Yeah, it matters for scoring. So
Which I think that's okay. I like.
yeah, that's a simple thing. So
Um, if you want to engage, now we only played 3/7 of a game. I feel like
yep,
the deck building does matter. We just didn't get there.
I feel like it does too.
Yeah.
Like I said, my deck was about to get really tight.
Yeah.
I had the trash abilities and I had bought some decent cards.
Yeah.
I was going to trash the rest of my crap and just be playing through cards that dropped down 2 or 3 tokens and had power, right? And had nice bonuses.
Yeah.
I also felt like Matthew was about to turn the corner on this.
Oh yeah, he had some good cards.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him. He had a rough start, and he made I think, an active decision on the second round of the game.
Yeah.
When he decided to do a buy instead of putting cubes to the board.
Mm-hmm.
But it was about to turn around for him because he still had a hell of a lot more cubes than we did. So
yeah, yeah, I think I do think the deck building's probably going to end up mattering more than it felt like it for only playing this first 3/7 of the game. That being said, if it is a consistent feedback where people are like, hey, I just don't feel like the deck building matters, there are lots of ways of manipulating that. More card draw, yada yada yada, all kinds of things. The card market for my little brain, a 6-card market is a lot. I don't think it's unreasonable, but
I got booted again, Evan.
Oh, okay.
So the last thing I heard was if it's a consistent feedback.
Yeah, if deck building not being important is consistent feedback, there's lots of ways of messing with that.
No, I've gotten feedback across the gamut on this, and I think it probably depends on how well I have it balanced. I've got the deck building's useless. I love the fact that I can play the deck building or I can sit back and not worry about it too much and still be effective. And I've gotten the deck builder is key and I love it.
Yeah.
So
if you want to lean into it, there's so many different ways you can.
I think I should. I feel like it's a core part of the game and I don't want to remove it.
Card draw, stuff like that.
Yep. I actually, to your point, I think getting rid of the Guildmaster and making this a racket is effectively one more card draw every turn.
Yeah.
Because this thing's holding a space, and now you'll just draw something else, and it may actually just change the game enough that it works. So.
And then the market, I don't think 6 cards is unreasonable. My brain likes fewer.
You want to go 5?
I would probably go 5, but I don't think 6 is unreasonable.
Yeah, I don't want to go over 6. I've considered 7, but I don't want to.
No, I would not go 7.
Yep.
I think 6 is like the max of reasonable. I think 5 is right. I think 4, it might be too few choices.
The feedback I've gotten is that I should lose more of these like unusual conditions on
Yeah.
cards and just make it more consistently set of things.
I would say,
And maybe just reduce the number of cards total. So we
I
all
would
just got
say,
booted.
yeah, we got booted. That's okay. I would say that the understanding all of the different conditional things on the bottom is a lot.
Yep.
And if you can streamline stuff so that it's just way more like, I know what that is, I know what that is, just with a glance.
Yeah. Part of this is getting the icons and the way
Yeah.
it looks clean. And that's a challenge, partly just
Yeah.
because I'm not putting the work into it that would be necessary to make it good. I will say this, I want some of that complexity.
Yeah.
There are strategies built in there, and maybe they're not coming out well. Maybe that's hard to see first time you play, but I want that to be a key part of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't, I maybe have too many, but I definitely want cards in there to do a specific special thing.
Yeah.
And one of the pieces of feedback I got from another big time Dune Imperium player is not only they want that, they want a handful of cards in the deck that totally change your strategy. You buy this card and you lean into a certain strategy.
That's fun. Yeah.
And I think that's a good suggestion. So
I think that's fun.
Yeah.
That it's there if you want to do it.
Yeah, you can ignore it if you don't like it, right?
Yeah. Did you restart your server?
No, I can.
Yeah, might as well, so we have something to look at while we chat. Finish up our chat.
It's up. Should be up.
Anyway, yeah, so I think 6 cards is fine. I would not go 7. I personally would prefer 5, but that's just, I think that's a very personal rather than a like a, you have to, cut it down at all. And what else? That's what I wrote down. Anything that neither of us covered, or you'd like to ask us?
No,
more
you
about?
guys really hit the major points. Matter of fact, you're hitting right around things I'm already thinking about,
Yeah,
like
usually.
losing the agent power.
That's usually the way it works.
And also you're picking at things that I've recently added, and they are making changes that I want, but they're just not as good as they need to be.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of killing the flags and making it just the same thing. I think that's a real easy change that simplifies things.
Yeah.
I really already was toying with the idea just losing locations and just rackets go down. I agree with the guild master. I put that in. It's all right.
Yeah.
But this is the key thing.
Yeah.
It's the actual guild master, not the shadow guild master. So
Right.
I could lose that. So those are all things I'm already thinking. You guys gave me some good ideas on how to do it well.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see. Any last minute stuff you all want to cover? I guess you said no. We covered it.
You covered it.
So we're perfect.
I will make a plug for my Facebook page.
Yeah. Why don't we tell all the kids at home how they can find and support what you're working on, Jake?
Yeah. There's a Facebook page called Guilds of Kurnor. And and it's public, so you should be able to find it. Also, I think it's probably in I don't know if you can drop it in the comments on the video for this. I'll go the other way. I'll put this video out. So yeah.
If you have it, you might have already sent it to me. The Facebook group?
I did.
It's in the description on the video.
It's in the description already.
Yep.
So yeah, so if you're interested in the game, definitely join the Facebook page. I'm kind of starting to put events there around playtests. I'm doing announcements on things. I'll put this video in there.
Nice.
It is the place where we'll start ramping it up as it goes. I also have a separate Discord server, which I put in the Facebook page, and then regretted it when my Discord got spammed. So, but if you're interested, join the Facebook group and then DM me, and I'll get you on the on the Discord. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Matthew, thanks for coming and playing. How can the folks at home find and support what you're working on?
Krillgame.com, where you can get more pictures of this guy.
Yeah, that tuxedo is pretty good.
Yeah, it comes off too. It's now it's a naked whale, but like just like
Inappropriate.
in the wild, right? Now he's dressed to krill.
My daughter would have a lot of fun dressing and
Hmm.
undressing that whale.
There was a reviewer I sent him out to, and then he was like, "Well, now that stuffy belongs to my daughter."
Yep.
So,
Cool. Awesome, guys. I am Evan Halbert. You can go buy After the Empire, at least several copies, if not 24. And it's only a very small box. So, um, and then one of the games I have coming out is also through the same publisher as Guilds of Kurnor.
mm,
So I'm working on a game that hopefully we will have something pretty presentable by Essen, because we're going to Essen. So I sure hope so.
I've been hassling you about this, but I want the digital version of it so I can play test it again.
I don't have a digital version. You'll have to go to Essen.
I'm just going to hassle your publisher
All
to
right, that's
give
fair.
me a copy.
I bet that he could probably have access to those things.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, guys. It's been a pleasure. Let's get the heck out of here.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you
Yeah.
very
Thanks,
much.
Sam, for stopping in, of course.
Yep.
Saying hi.
mhm.